Oh, that's great.
Adam Curry, John C. Dvorak.
It's Sunday, December 5th, 2021. This is your award-winning Gimmo Nation Media Assassination episode 1405.
This is No Agenda.
Deconstructing the Horn and broadcasting live from the heart of Texas Hill Country here in FEMA Region number 6 in the morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where it's gloomy. I don't know why. I'm John C. Dvorak.
It's Crackpot and Buzzkill in the morning.
Well, so gloomy you could have turned a whole 747 around in the hole you left there. So, yeah. It's gloomy here, too.
I always like to make room.
Yeah, it's gloomy here, too. Very gloomy.
Why, you think?
Well, because we have clouds.
Oh, I know why.
It's cloudy.
Biden's president.
Dude, what's wrong with the president? Did you hear him?
What's the latest?
This was great.
I hear him all the time. What did I miss?
Oh, you missed his cold. So he comes out and he says he has a cold, but this isn't even his cadence, man. Listen to this.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people think there's a second. A lot of people think there's a. And of course, we're always of the opinion there's always a body double.
Always a body double. Well, they put the body double in.
This year, we can reflect on an extraordinary bit of progress. Our economy is markedly stronger than it was a year ago. And today, the incredible news that our unemployment rate has fallen to 4.2%. At this point in the year, we're looking at the sharpest one-year decline in unemployment ever.
That is not someone who has a cold with Biden's voice. This is
jacked up with ephedrine. That's what it is.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So he has a cold and he's on meth, basically.
Well, ephedrine. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've seen those masks. They look pretty realistic.
That is exactly what you sound like when you're on ephedrine. It's got that that funny sound.
Another deconstruction right here before your very eyes.
You nailed it.
Good job. Happy Sinterklaas, happy Krampus over there in the European Unions. People celebrating the good St. Nicholas coming today with his black Pete's, his black helpers.
No black Pete's.
Yeah, there's plenty of black Pete's.
Oh.
Yeah.
They never learn.
No. Before we get into any COVID stuff, I had a thought, and it came from this very short clip. And, of course, we have to do some Omicron stuff because we get to the bottom of this bull crap. This clip with Peter Doocy, who's the Fox troublemaker in the White House press briefings, and Jen Psaki.
So when a huge group of criminals organizes themselves and they want to go loot a store, a CVS, a Nordstrom, a Home Depot, until the shelves are clean, you think that's because of the pandemic?
I think a root cause in a lot of communities is the pandemic, yes.
All right. But it
hey, they can't blame Trump for everything.
Well, it made me think about this looting and, Prop 47 in California, and, you can steal, in essence, anything up to $950, and everywhere there's Soros district attorneys letting people out of jail who, or not sending them to jail at all.
Murderers.
And I thought, no, this is what equity is. I understand it finally, and bear with me. So the elites, and it's not even the top elites anymore, it's people in Congress, it's people in city government and state government, they are all looting. They've been looting for years, looting directly through their friends, just looting. I mean, it's the corruption is everywhere.
Well, California is the looting state.
And so they feel so bad that they feel it's only fair, i.e. equitable, to allow the bottom of the country to also loot without consequence. So it's really for them to feel good.
You're straining your voice.
Because it dawned on me, and I thought, this makes so much sense now. They want equity because they feel bad about the looting they've been doing, and we have to give everybody the fair and equitable chance at looting and get out of jail free or not go at all.
I like the theory, except for the fact that I don't think these people have that sort of conscience.
No, but it may be someone else pushing this so that everyone's conscience is at ease and we don't get whistleblowers.
Guilt tripping them.
Yeah, we don't get whistleblowers and stuff like that who say, hey, we're looting over here. And this flows into the equity across the world. I mean, it's cropping up again. We have to make sure we get everybody on the vaccine. We have to have equality, or maybe it's even equity at this point again, with the vaccines. And if you listen, the talking points all come from one source, and you'll hear it here in its original form. This is the president of the Rockefeller Foundation.
We set two targets for much of the rest of the world outside of wealthy nations. One was to achieve 40% immunization coverage by the end of this year, and the other was to achieve 70% and therefore herd immunity by September of next year. Neither of those are going to be achieved through current efforts, and that's exactly why we have this dangerous new variant disrupting global markets and global economies and lives around the world. And, our Rockefeller experts have estimated that new variants are 6 to 8 times more likely to come from lesser developed countries, because that's where viral replication continues to occur at a very, very high rate, because immunization has been so slow. And I frankly wish the companies that are involved here, Pfizer, Moderna, and others, would do more to make their products available either through partnership with local manufacturers or through true tiered pricing arrangements that could allow developing countries to access those products in the right terms much faster.
Oh, please.
Well, the reason...
We're giving it away for one thing.
Oh, no, there's a problem. We can't give it away. This is not good enough. No, the problem is only the answer to the problem, or the problem itself, can be found on Bloomberg. And, so we've got one side here, we have the president of the Rockefeller Foundation, Rajiv Shah. Now let's go to David Malpass, the World Bank president, who explains why we can't roll this out.
Immediate problem is indemnification. Pfizer has been hesitant to go into some of the countries because of the liability problems, or they don't have a liability shield. No. So we work with the countries to try to do that. But I think also some of the other vaccine manufacturers may be able to go into countries because they're operating through subsidiaries. This is all something that we're exploring, and my goal is to have vaccines available for people throughout the developing world based on what their countries decide. We've got financing available, but the countries need to choose systems and then begin buying or receiving the vaccines.
Yeah, we have no shield.
No shield, no deal.
Yeah, good one. No shield, no deals. No shields, no deals.
Stop the tape.
Stop the tape?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh.
Did I leave the stove on?
No. You know who has this back of the head worse than anybody?
Who?
The keeper.
Oh.
She will text me. She's halfway down the road. Did I close the garage door? Yeah, and of course, I'm the one that always leaves the shit open. Well,
the problem is that I had to stop tape because I can't sit here with that in the back of my mind because I just be obsessing on it.
No, I know. And
it was off.
It was off, of course. So back to Omicron, the new variant, which
you left off with the discussion of the liabilities.
Oh, right. Okay. And you were going to say something about the liabilities.
Yeah.
Go.
I think this liability issues because they've come to the conclusion that this vaccine is so flaky in terms of its, danger that they can't take a chance on just giving it to everybody without this protection. Here
without the liability,
States,
of course, the liability protection.
And the funny thing is, and all this time, over a year and a half of doing discussion, well, let's say about a year, 9 months of discussing the vaccine, I don't think we ever brought it up that it's only us, the United States.
No, I think European Union also has the shield.
Okay,
pretty sure they have it too. No, they don't. Well, Africa is, of course, many countries, and that have to clear by country.
There's not one country in Africa that I know of that they have it.
Well, I have thoughts on Africa for later. A little mini deconstruction of what may be going on with COVID and the travel restrictions. But here in the West, to me, it seems like this is meant really to, only to market the vaccines and boosters. Just push, 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 push. We need it everywhere. And
a couple of things I want to mention that this morning I didn't put it in my clips, and I don't think I got the other one. They're starting to talk about under 5 vaccinate. Oh my God, when can we do under 5? So Gottlieb comes on Face the Nation this morning and talks about all these new Omicrons is mostly kids under 5.
Wow.
And they said a lot of under 2s, and then he does pat it a bit, saying, well, it could be the flu, but they can't take a chance. Why take a chance? There's no shots for these poor under 5 kids. They're going to push this under 5 thing to a bunch of children that are just, it's going to be pathetic.
Well, little detour then. What we've seen all of these, when it comes to children, ever since the 5 to 11-year-old vaccination started in the United States, we've seen banners on buses saying, kids get heart attacks all the time. Kids get strokes.
Yes. Yeah, very common. When I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, they were dropping left and right of strokes and heart attacks.
So 2 different podcasts launched this past week. Actually, the beginning of last week. One in Israel, in Hebrew, so I have no clips to play of that. But the Cleveland Clinic also released an exact same type of podcast. Interestingly, they dropped episode 1 on the 24th, episode 2 on the 28th, and then 10 episodes on the 29th. So they had this thing produced, and they couldn't wait to roll it out. They need to roll it all out in one go. And I'm the podfather, so I understand these things. So you're
also the guy monitoring all the podcasts in the world.
Correct. So let's listen to the
little known fact.
Let's listen to the. I skipped all the Cleveland Clinic bombastic opening, and now we're straight into podcast land.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for this episode of the Health Essentials podcast. I'm your host, Annie Zaleski, and today we're talking to pediatric cardiologist Dr. Francine Ehrenberg, director of the Pediatric Cardiology Fellowship Program at the Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital, about chest pain in children. When adults are feeling chest pain, it can be a sign of a heart attack or another serious cardiac event. Chest pain in children can also sometimes signal problems with the heart, although there are also other reasons for pain that aren't caused by a serious condition. Dr. Ehrenberg is here to explain why your child might be feeling chest pain and how to tell when it's time to worry.
Well, this is going to be good.
Dr. Ehrenberg, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, give us an overview about how common chest pain is in children.
Now, I didn't know this, but it is very, very common. Did you have, when you were a kid, were there kids with chest pain all the time?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Chest pain's fairly common. Actually,
well, wait. I take it back. A lot of kids punched each other, and I'm sure more than a few punched right in the center of the chest. That hurts.
It's fairly common, actually more common than most people realize. And as you mentioned, there are some serious causes of chest pain, although many causes are not serious.
Oh, so I'm sure punching each other in the chest will be on her list.
What are some of the frequent or common causes that doctors tend to hear that why a child might have chest pain?
So some of the more common reasons are from irritation or inflammation of the other things in our chest, such as the ribs, the muscles, the joints. Those can typically become inflamed or irritated through some common things that we do, such as exercise, exertion, new sports, weightlifting, basically using muscles in a way that we haven't used them frequently.
Having listened to the episode, I can assure you at no point were vaccine adverse events mentioned at all. This is normalization. I can't remember this. I can't remember it.
This is shameful.
Yeah, Cleveland Clinic, no less.
Well, I don't even know who the Cleveland Clinic is, but
well, they're a clinic. They're a clinic in Cleveland.
The Mao Clinic. I'm sorry, Mayo Clinic.
The Mao Clinic. You're bad, Dvorak. You're bad. Yeah. So just that normalization, it's really annoying.
Yeah, nobody's listening to that podcast, let's face it.
No, but someone got paid big dollar to produce it, and it sounds like crap, and that's annoying. It's very annoying.
But it's shameful. It's shameful. They're just they're doing everything. I mean, why don't you just Why don't we just you'd be like a NASCAR and we can all wear, jackets and other things. Let's just say Pfizer all over the front.
Oh, my goodness.
Pfizer.
There's so much.
You ask a question. Yeah, well, I want to thank Pfizer before I give you my answer.
I want to thank my sponsor, Pfizer. They've been great. They've stood by me all these years. Really appreciate it. This is ABC World News Tonight as we move into the marketing from the Omicron variant to the human resources of the United States.
We begin tonight with the breaking news as we come on the air, the new cases of the Omicron variant here in the U.S. And, of course, we knew this was coming given what we're seeing all over the world. Tonight, at least.
Breaking.
Hey, we knew this was coming. Given what we're seeing all over the world.
What we're seeing all over the world. Tonight, at least 3 more states here in the U.S. seeing this new variant. A short time ago, we learned of 5 cases now discovered right here in New York State. Minnesota and Colorado also reporting new cases today. Woo! Dr. Fauci has said the vaccines and the boosters will help fight this. And so far, we are hearing of mild symptoms that the vaccines are working.
Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. Because he said it literally. They bring in the Omicron. They make it sound super scary. Oh, my God, what are we going to do? The thing is as good as the common cold right now. So what they are able to say is, oh, man, I'm glad you got boosted for that Omicron. The vaccines are working. So people are almost not getting sick because, of course, they're still going to catch it. But it's very mild, so the vaccines are working.
Yes, this is exactly what I wrote in the newsletter.
Yes.
And I also mentioned the fact that what they're unfortunately doing is they're pushing people into the belief that the only people who are getting Omicron are the vaccinated, because there's no discussion of anyone without a vaccination who's caught this Omicron.
Yep.
It looks like they can't catch it. You're immune. They got to fix that.
Well, how do we recommend they do that?
They got to kill somebody.
Ah, yes. Okay. A celebrity. A celebrity.
Well, somebody has to be in a situation where they're dying of cancer, and then they test them, and they got the COVID, and they prove it's Omicron. The guy dies. It's because of it. They got to kill somebody in the old-fashioned way, which is by faking the death of,
Right, but it needs to be a celebrity of sorts, otherwise it's no good.
It better be by now, because they haven't introduced this idea at all.
Let's continue with this. The vaccines are working.
Dr. Fauci has said the vaccines and the boosters will help fight this. And so far, we are hearing of mild symptoms that the vaccines are working, patients recovering. Tonight, President Biden announcing new steps to battle the virus as we now head into the winter months. And here's what we know.
Hold on a second. Stop. Interesting little turn of phrase there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of when you say the word patient?
Wow. The first thing for some reason, through my mind flashed for a second, patience. And then I got patient as in someone in a hospital.
Exactly. Hospitalized person. He's a patient.
Hospitalized. Wow. Is this a new wokeism?
I don't know.
Let's go. Let's listen to the videotape.
Fauci has said the vaccines and the boosters will help fight this. And so far, we are hearing of mild symptoms that the vaccines are working, patients recovering. Tonight, President Biden announcing new steps to battle the virus as we now head into the winter months. And here's what we know.
Well, it's not quite what you said, patients recovering.
Yeah, but patients recovering still assumes that there's somebody that's in the hospital or in some situation. But there's nobody in the hospital. This is not hospitalized anybody.
No.
You might as well just say, people are recovering.
Right, at home, comfortably.
Yeah, but which is what it is.
Yeah. You're right.
So they're making it sound as though, well, we're still borderline, you get one step away from a ventilator.
Yeah.
Patients recovering.
I had
you can go home now, Mr. Jones.
I had a note about that. Hold on a second. Let me find this.
By the way, I should mention that David Muir is the number one. They have about 11 million viewers. Number one rated news half hour.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
So he should be ashamed of himself.
We'll continue this.
The Minnesota man who tested positive had attended a convention in New York City, an anime convention just before Thanksgiving at the Javits Center.
Isn't that great? What kind of freak?
How you can do that with a straight face is beyond me.
They're coming for you, kids. They're coming for the anime kids. That's where it's happening. Anime spread.
An anime convention just before Thanksgiving at the Javits Center. More than 50,000 people were there. They're being urged to be tested now. He was fully vaccinated, had a booster shot, and showed mild symptoms. He got back home, was tested. Those symptoms have now subsided. And again, as I mentioned, everyone who was there urged to be tested and vigilant about any possible symptoms.
Vigilant.
Before we do anything, we need to look at some of the world press, what they're reporting on Omicron. And I think we should go to WION. This is the Indian news outfit. They always have some interesting stuff.
Everybody loves that station.
I got to tell you, this one lady who... she has great diction and pronunciation.
Mimi's a huge fan of that woman.
Yeah, I like her. You just have to cut all the pauses out.
The World Health Organization has now confirmed that the Omicron variant is quite transmissible, yet not so lethal. The reason seems to be the similarity of the genetic material to the virus which causes the common cold. A study now claims that Omicron has picked up snippets of genetic material found in the virus, which causes the common cold. Now, this makes the Omicron variant more transmissible while only causing mild symptoms. The study has been conducted by Cambridge, a Massachusetts-based data analytics firm. Interestingly, this genetic sequence does not appear in any earlier versions of the coronavirus. The new mutation could have first occurred in a person infected with both COVID-19 and the common cold. The finding comes after the World Health Organization claimed that there is a chance of people being infected with two strains simultaneously, depending on their immunity. The same genetic sequence appears in human immunodeficiency virus, which causes AIDS. South Africa has the world's highest rate of HIV, which may indicate low immunity being the reason for the Omicron variant and its further spread. Scientists say that Omicron can evade attacks from the human immune system, but may only cause mild or asymptomatic disease. It may take several weeks to know the exact reasons for the virus's behavior, as more research is currently needed to know the effects of the vaccines on this new variant.
Yeah, this is the common thread is, we need to do more genomic testing, sequencing. It'll take about a month until we know exactly how bad it is. In the meantime, we'll have used this, in essence, common cold. That's what I'm hearing the research say. It's basically a common cold. They're using this to push more boosters. And I think that this may be part of the new, what are they calling it? The pandemic treaty for viruses that the World Health Organization, which we are now back in, is putting together, kind of like a, let me see what they say here. It's a special session of the World Health Assembly.
World Health, that's different.
Well, the second one ever held by the World Health Organization's governing body. So they rule over it. Pledged by consensus to begin work on an agreement amid a round of applause after 3 days of talks. I welcome the decision you've adopted today to establish an intergovernmental negotiating body to draft and negotiate a World Health Organization convention, agreement, or other international instrument on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response.
Oh,
that sounds kind of New World Order-ish to me.
It sounds like a drinking club to me.
Yeah, well, these drinking clubs are shoving needles in people's arms, so it's not funny anymore.
It never was funny.
Now, because there's now so much coming out about this particular variant, and just there's so much, we have to send in the teams. We've got to start protecting our main spokesholes, being Anthony Fauci. And as they say, if they had everything all under control, they wouldn't need this level of propaganda. This is Jimmy Kimmel from, I'm going to guess, Friday night. I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is his opening monologue, one of the 3 network talk shows in the United States.
If you've been watching Fox News, you know that the real enemy isn't the virus or the do-my-own-research geniuses who refuse to get the vaccine. The real enemy is Dr. Fauci.
So it's easy to criticize, but they're really criticizing science. because I represent science.
The man now believes he's a deity accountable to no one.
Dr. Fauci says he is the all-powerful Oz, and we shouldn't question him.
That's a very grandiose statement on his part.
L'État, c'est moi. I am the state. It is this delusion of grandeur.
Tony Fauci has morphed into an even shorter version of Benito Mussolini.
This is what people say to me, that he doesn't represent science to them. He represents Joseph Mengele. Dr. Joseph Mengele, the Nazi doctor who did experiments on Jews during the Second World War and in the concentration camps.
It looks like Lara Logan has been eating Tide Pods again. That is just so outrageous. Joseph Mengele. Let me tell you, screwball, something about Dr. Fauci, because I've had enough of this, and he's too nice to say this himself. This man has been working on behalf of the public. That's us for more than 50 years. He served under 6 presidents, starting with Reagan, President Bush, President Clinton, another President Bush, Obama, Trump, and now Biden. Republicans and Democrats. To suggest that his politics have anything to do with his work or what he recommends.
I don't think anyone mentioned any politics in those clips that he played, although this is clearly about the Lara Logan comment. I think that's all that this is about. But he brings it home. And this was 7 minutes, so I just got a little bit.
By the way, it was okay for Trump to be Hitler, but heaven forbid.
Oh, no. But you see, there is one person worse than Hitler, and that is Mengele. I think Lara Logan hit the nail on the head. You know, the castrations, the lampshades made of Jew skin. I don't know if that's true, but that's when you think of Mengele, that's what you think of.
Bush, Obama, Trump, and now Biden. Republicans and Democrats. To suggest that his politics have anything to do with his work or what he recommends, it's ridiculous, and it's a lie, and he doesn't deserve it. He didn't ask for this. He's not a politician. He's a doctor. His interest is in protecting us from disease. Remember AIDS and Ebola and the Zika virus?
Yeah, how did those work out? Great job, Dr. Fauci, on AIDS and Zika and Ebola, where we got absolutely nothing.
He's a doctor. His interest is in protecting us from disease. Remember AIDS and Ebola and the Zika virus? He worked on all of those things. And thank God there's someone who's educated enough and devoted enough to figure this stuff out for us, because we are not going to figure it out ourselves. And what are the thanks he gets? He gets scumbags like Ted Cruz, like Rand Paul, like that vile, inflatable Macy's parade balloon of dog Tucker Carlson, making up.
Woo, man. What is that? Why would you do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I do know this, that the left really they get rankled by Carlson because his material is so well put together. And he's also mean-spirited the way he describes things.
Oh, totally.
But it's with some humor. He doesn't call people a piece of whatever.
Yeah, whatever he said there.
Kimmel was implying.
Yeah.
He doesn't go that far. He has things like, a shorter version of Mussolini kind of line. It's a softer humor.
Yeah.
And then it's
I think this
Kimmel. I don't know what Kimmel's problem is.
This was,
he's got something wrong with him.
Oh, he was told to do this. Hello?
I guess so.
Oh, please. He's on CBS? No. He's on ABC? ABC. Just to give ourselves some balance, let's look at the complete other side of the spectrum. People are also pissed off over there.
Oh, it's all legal. Oh, it got approved by the president. Oh, it was all emergency authorization. Okay, we killed you. Big deal. And we're not going to stop. And Trump sits there. I don't know. Trump was on the
Carlson didn't how come Kimmel didn't mention Jones? I mean, he's a good punching bag.
Wait until you hear what he says.
And we're not going to stop. And Trump sits there. I don't know. Trump was on the Lolita Express. Probably wasn't. His MO isn't a pedophile thing, but I'll tell you this. Trump doesn't come out against this now. Trump is aiding and abetting the mass murder of children. And he better say he was misled and come out against these people right now. Or I declare war on Donald Trump. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care where you came from or who your mom and your daddy was. You don't stand up against this. You're my enemy. You understand that? Because this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. That's a real problem. And, Trump can't do that. He can't come out, because I'm sure he intends on running. He can't come out and say, now the vaccines are killing people, because he'll never have a chance. The media would just bury him. He knows this.
Oh, yeah.
So I find it interesting that Jones is doing this.
He's in a corner. Yeah, Jones is a blowhard. Jones is like, He's just taking advantage of the situation.
Let's listen to, I think this guy, Rick Bright, wasn't he an advisor during Trump, and then he stayed on with Biden for a little bit?
No, isn't he the guy who turned it? It was kind of a quasi-whistleblower.
Right. It was some bull crap thing that he was trying to derail everything with, like Trump bad.
Yeah, I forget the
so he showed up.
Let's bring in Rick Bright. He led the Trump administration's vaccine development effort.
Right. For 6 weeks, and then he got kicked out.
Yeah, and they wanted to be the boss.
It was something like that. We should look it up. What his problem
he wanted to be the boss, and they wouldn't give him the job, and he said, "I'm quitting if I can't be the boss."
Yes.
Let's bring in Rick Bright. He led the Trump administration's vaccine development effort. He resigned after a whistleblower complained saying his early warnings about the pandemic had been ignored. Rick, good to see you again. We should note, after the election, you briefly joined President Biden's COVID advisory board. What do you make of this new response plan announced today? Is it enough, do you think?
Jake, thanks for having me back on. Like many plans, they're just plans. It's a great start. I think there's some great points. I mean, it's surprising to see some of those points being rolled out as a new idea 2 years into a pandemic. I think the most important thing we need to see in America and across the world.
Say what?
I'm just thinking he's one of those guys. No matter who he's working for, he's going to be this way. He's just one of those guys. He's a complainer.
A pandemic. I think the most important thing we need to see in America and across the world is action. We need to see leadership. We need to see coordination and coordinated action around the world. This Omicron variant, Jake, is a consequence of not having the world vaccinated soon enough. And we're going to continue seeing this until we put vaccine equity at the top of our list, not just donating a few doses or even 1 billion doses, but really putting the resources in place on the ground around the world to get those doses into arms, not on the tarmac, so we can stop this virus from mutating and coming into new variants and spreading around the world.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, experts like you have been saying if the United States and other countries didn't do more to immunize the entire world, this was what was going to happen, and now we are seeing it happening.
You see? This is where it's going. Now we have to all be, we are the world, we are the children. Otherwise, it'll never, it's so not about health anymore. This is clearly just, we all need to get everybody on the program. Get you tagged. Want to hear Osterholm on his podcast?
He has a podcast. Yeah.
Of course he has a podcast.
I'm glad you listen to his podcast.
I'll be honest, this particular clip came from the clip custodian, so we're glad one of our producers is.
Let me start out by saying that the news of this latest variant, which was given the name Omicron by the WHO, was not at all what I was hoping for on the holiday weekend. Needless to say, it interrupted many of our weekend festivities.
Oh, boo-hoo.
In a way, though, there's almost a painful level of irony that comes with its arrival being announced over our Thanksgiving. If ever there was a more prescient reminder of the tricks that this virus has up its sleeve.
He's reading this.
It's him. He's reading.
He's reading.
Yeah, he's reading. Tell. Oh, yeah. It's a total script that I'm sure he may not have written.
If ever there was a more prescient reminder of the tricks that this virus has up its sleeve. This is it. So what's the scoop on Omicron?
Well, jeez, who's writing your script, bro?
Well, as you alluded to in your question, Chris, we're really in the earliest phases of better understanding this version of the virus.
Holy crap, I didn't realize this is from a question and answer, and his answer is scripted. Oh, what a tool.
Of course, that understanding will improve with the accumulation of time and more data. So we'll be learning a lot more over the next few weeks. I suspect our podcast a week from now will be much more informed than we are today.
When the new scripts come in.
In the meantime, we already have several pieces of data that we can look at. And from what I've seen to date, this variant has some very concerning elements.
Concerning?
These are the elements that I have been so concerned might, in fact, end up being part of our COVID-19 picture. As I have labeled it over the course of the past few days, this is the 210-mile-an-hour curveball coming in straight and center.
Well, a curveball doesn't come in
straight and center.
It comes in from an angle. That's the idea of a curveball, you dumb shit.
210 miles an hour, too. That's pretty fast. Is that?
Somebody could throw that there. That's money in the bank.
All right. Yep.
Curveball coming in
straight. The MIT Technology Review they report, we won't know how bad Omicron is for another month. Gene sequencing gave an early alert about the latest COVID variant, but we'll only know if Omicron is a problem by watching it spread.
I'm going to bring back my point I made on the last show, which is Omicron looks to be a mild, cold-like version of the COVID. Why?
Which is what the
nobody
Indian
reporting the positive side of the potential here, where we might be over this COVID thing, we might get back to normal. Things may look rosy. Why is not one single outlet even suggesting such a thing? They just are trying to. These people are shameless.
Maybe we should do that. Hey, everybody, how you doing? It's great. Happy Sunday to you. Hey, this is good news, everybody. Omicron is really just the common cold. Yay! That's good.
By the way, I do have this little series. This is Biden. When it first was announced, this is Biden trying to say Omicron or Omicron. He says Omnicron. Omnicron. Then he says Omnicron.
I want to take a few moments to talk about the new COVID variant. It's called the Omicron. Travel restrictions can slow the speed of Omicron. The Delta variants and now the Omicron variant. And we move forward now in the face of the Omicron variant as well.
You know, there was a piece on Hacks on Tap. And this is, so David Axelrod and a couple of these jamokes are talking about what Biden should do, because clearly his approval rating is so bad. What do you think they recommend based upon his performance to date?
Pass the infrastructure bill?
We did an awful lot of local news. And I don't understand why they're not doing that, which is like the low-hanging fruit of American politics. You don't get the tough kind of questions that you get, at a White House news conference, and you can localize your message. And I don't understand why that is something that he could do.
Remember, when you look at Biden, what does he have? He has a perception of decency and empathy and his heart on his sleeve. Yes. He is an emotional Paul. So for Christ's sake, let him get mad. That is playing his tool.
Right.
And instead of analyzing it, they could use more satellite uplinks to Live at 5. I totally agree. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But in terms of the big narrative here, it's the second act. He's knocked on his ass. We don't know if he knows how to fight anymore. He was a great boxer once. He's got to get up and slug. Or the vacuum he's going to be Jimmy Carter 2.0.
So he should be doing more press and getting more angry. I am for this advice.
I think that's great
advice. This would be great for the show.
Can you imagine?
I am so all in like Flynn. Love that.
Well, when Biden got mad, he used to get angry a little bit more, especially on the campaign trail. He'd come up, somebody'd ask a question, he'd turn around and chew him out.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we like to see. That's the Biden we want.
That works so well for them. Yes.
It did,
yes.
Yeah.
More of
buddy,
that.
You don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
More
hey,
of
buddy.
That. Yes. Exactly. Oh, I love that. Oh, crikey. The producer who alerted me to the third quarter financial call of Service Corporation, the publicly listed company, who are the holding company of funeral directors, cemeteries, all the dead stuff in the country. And so we know that numbers were up. Deaths were up this year, but I thought it would be cool to play 56 seconds of what the CEO actually was saying.
Now let's talk about our revised outlook for 2021. Based upon better than expected results in the third quarter, we are again raising our guidance to an earnings per share range of $4.15 to $4.45 for the full year 2021. This increases the midpoint by an additional 95 cents and represents a 33% increase over our 2020 results. This raise in our guidance is primarily due to the earnings per share outperformance delivered in the third quarter. Additionally, we have increased our projected earnings per share for the fourth quarter, primarily due to higher than originally anticipated funeral volumes and higher than anticipated at-need cemetery revenues, both being impacted by an increase in Delta variant morbidity and non-COVID excess deaths.
Nothing like some non-COVID excess deaths, everybody. So they're raising their outlook by 40 cents on their earnings. That's not too shabby.
No, it's really dynamite.
And I think this is the metric. If you want to know what's going on, if people are dying, screw all these CDC numbers. I trust these.
Yeah. Bound by the stock market rules.
Yeah, they probably are more bound to that than not. Do you have some COVID stuff? Because I want to take this to my final stretch.
A real funny one. You have to listen to this. Thing has got a punchline.
All right.
And it's a two-part clip. This has been playing on the West Coast, this story. It's just one of these things. They threw it out there to see if it would help. What's been overlooked in a lot of this marketing that you've been discussing is let's get back to COVID and scare people to death with what it can do.
Oh, yes. We have to continuously maintain that.
Yeah, and this hasn't been going on as much. So they came up with this little ploy, and I think this is a good one. This is COVID psychosis.
The pandemic has left its mark on people in many different ways. We're still learning about its far-reaching impacts, and that includes its effect on the brain.
One Bainbridge Island man had his world turned upside down after he developed psychosis believed to be caused by COVID. He shared his story with KOMO's Holly Menino.
Ivan Egerton loves the story behind the camera.
It's allowed me to discover things.
The cinematographer has traveled the globe, photographing some of the world's most beautiful places.
It's allowed me to see things that I otherwise wouldn't have seen.
His work featured in Blue Planet 2 and One Strange Rock.
It's given me a different perspective on a lot of things.
His years of storytelling didn't prepare him for the nightmare he was about to live.
I was convinced that they were coming after me.
Ivan, who lives on Bainbridge Island with his wife Emily and their 3 children, had just been on an expedition in Saudi Arabia.
On my way back, somewhere along the way back, I was exposed to somebody with the virus.
Ivan tested positive for COVID and spent 14 days in quarantine. What happened next? Completely unexpected.
Received the spam call. It was a call and hang up. And like a light switch, this paranoia took over me.
For 48 hours, he struggled alone with paranoia and voices until he finally told his wife. They went to the emergency room.
And it just got to a point where he wasn't sleeping. He wasn't eating. He was constantly preoccupied with this thought that people were out to get him or out to get his family.
Ivan was experiencing psychosis. Dr. Veronica Zantop was on call over the 2020 Christmas weekend.
Yeah. Psychosis. Very nice.
So he didn't get sick, but he got this other thing, and it was triggered. This is the interesting part. It was kind of triggered like you might have an MK Ultra trigger, let's say, by a spam call that was a hang up, which is...
This is cool. This could happen to you.
It happens to me all the time.
But what's the result? Is it working? Is the programming doing anything?
I get pissed off because I want to record these things because it's like a part of the show I've been trying to reintroduce to get into the argument with the guys. I've been getting into arguments where they cuss me out, which I think is great. But back to this. Let's go to part 2, and then there's a kicker in here where there's kind of a miracle that happens.
Oh, no.
When Ivan was first admitted to Swedish Ballard's behavioral health unit, he would stay there for more than a week, missing Christmas with his family.
Ivan had no cognitive issues, so he had no problems with kind of how he articulated his story or his memory or kind of the linearity of what he was saying. And the other thing that was surprising is that he had a lot of insight into his psychotic symptoms.
Those symptoms included paranoid delusions. What were your specific symptoms? How did those start?
I was hearing people outside, every car that drove by, I thought they were surveilling me. My rational mind was still intact. I was thinking, this can't be happening. This isn't real.
Dr. Zantop says that's unusual for someone with psychosis. Turns out there were several things that didn't fit the typical psychosis case.
He's 50 years old. He doesn't have any psychiatric history at all, has never had any psychotic symptoms or depression or mania.
A recent study out of the University of Oxford found that nearly 1 in 5 people diagnosed with COVID-19 received a psychiatric diagnosis within the next 3 months. 1 in 4 of these people had not had a psychiatric diagnosis before contracting the virus. With medication, Ivan was able to get his symptoms under control and was released on New Year's Day. He thought the problem was solved.
2 weeks after that, I was reading a headline of some raid somewhere, and it re-triggered the paranoia.
Ivan went back to the behavioral health unit. He was put on new medications and stayed 8 to 9 days.
And once I had the vaccine, about 2 days after I had the vaccine, I really started feeling much better.
Almost a year later, Ivan continues to share his story so that others know they are not alone.
Money in the bank, baby. Oh, man. It's funny you have that story, because I was reading on RT, a team of Russian scientists has pioneered a new anti-anxiety drug designed to calm the nerves of worried coronavirus patients and minimize the risk of potentially dangerous interactions with medicines used to treat the virus. Indeed. I've also read, no, I don't have it in the show notes for today, but they're planning on, I think maybe maybe the Merck pill or something was supposed to be delivered along with an antidepressant, or there's some study somewhere said, hey, antidepressants help people recover quicker. But bottom line is, how much of all of this is just psychosis?
Well, you know how we feel.
Yes, I do know. I do know how we feel. Unfortunately,
it's all psychosis.
And do you remember the undercover nurse from way in the beginning?
Yeah, I vaguely remember the undercover nurse. Yeah, she had.
I don't think I have that clip. But she was interviewed very early on. She was a traveling nurse, and then she did this interview. She said, "This is crazy what's going on in New York." And she said, most of the people showing up don't have anything. They just have severe anxiety, that they do have it.
Yeah, that's what the media can do to you.
No kidding. So now we have these.
It doesn't take much. I mean, people should go look up these mass hysteria hoaxes that, like the June bug. Look up June bug and what that was all about. It's astonishing.
The June bug. Yes. Remember, we've talked about a lot of different mass hysteria things over the years, and one of them is the laughing mass hysteria. When was that again? You've written about this.
Yeah, I think that was in the 40s, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember the dates on these things, but the June bug one was one. There's a lot of these things, and they're all nuts. Well, I think a lot of the early, the girl who walked backwards.
Yeah, that was after the Gardasil, or during the Gardasil campaign.
And during that Gardasil era, when people were very skeptical about it, and then of course they started backing off giving it to everybody. There was a lot of craziness going on. A lot of it was driven by the media.
So we have a lot of things going on in Africa. The top thing that really bothered me right off the bat was this immediate travel ban and we even have clips from people in these countries in Africa saying, "What are you doing? Why are you forbidding anyone to travel from, 8 countries in all around southern Africa? Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, of course, Mozambique, that hasn't had any infection, let alone Omicron, for months. So let's check in with Africa and see how things are going. We're going to Rwanda first. And why Rwanda? Because the Dutch family, known as the Travelicious family, we talked about them on the last show, they're traveling around Africa in their overlander truck with their 3 young kids, and they sent us a report from Rwanda.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for the topic in your show. Really appreciate it also from the kids here in the car. We are in Rwanda right now, and even here in Rwanda...
Hey, stop. Back it up a little bit. This isn't really you, is it?
No, but I could do it if I wanted to. We have the kids in the back of the car over here in Rwanda. I could. But no, that's just my familiarity with the Dutch culture and peoples.
Rwanda right now, and even here in Rwanda, you don't have sheep that are masked, but look at this here.
You don't want to miss this one. The goats, all those goats are masked. Look.
So this video is in the show notes. It has to be seen that these goats have masks on. Because these people in Rwanda, they're not the goat herders are not wearing masks. No people wearing masks. They're so freaked out that they've got their goats, because that's their entire livelihood, I guess. They've got their goats masked up with these yellow cones over their snout.
Look at them. They all have masks on their noses. And we just asked the guy why they do it. And they showed us their own mask. And they said, just a mask against COVID. Really, you can't believe this, right? It's true. This is COVID
2.0.
2.0.
It's Omicron
in Rwanda.
On speed.
Omicron on speed. Look at this one. You can't believe it, right? This is reality in Rwanda. Okay.
Bye-bye. All the best.
Bye-bye.
I'm sure they'll be checking in with more. Now, Rwanda is more the northeast.
This is boots on the ground beyond
belief.
Yeah. There's nobody in the media that gets boots on the ground reports about goats with masks.
Believe me, if they could turn around.
If I was running NBC News, I'd be pissed that we got a scoop.
Yes, and there's video, and the NBC should pay for it. Especially with all the ITM Adam and stuff in there. That should all remain. That should be part of the deal. Promote the No Agenda show. So that's more the northeast of the continent, where they are right now, kind of mid-north and northeast. Let's go down south for a second to South Africa, and here is a local rant.
So a dear friend of mine called me today to say she's heard that they're going very badly in South Africa, and how are you? How are you handling it? So I'll tell you exactly what's happening in South Africa. Nothing. Today's figures, total new infections in South Africa, 0. Total new infections in England, 46,000. 46,000 new infections. We have 0 new infections. Our populations are approximately the same. Oh, but let's blame Africa. The British have discovered a new variant in South Africa. Of course, it's the worst of all variants. It's dressed in a loincloth, carries a spear, and waits for you at the airport to chop your head off and crawl up your ass. So, yes, let's put South Africa back on the red list, because they have 0 new infections and we have 46,000 new infections today. So South Africa will have no tourist season. Companies and livelihoods will be decimated yet again. I've already had guests cancelling their Christmas and their journeys. I had guests leave today early from Spain because they're now afraid they won't be able to get back on a plane because the British have discovered a new variant in Africa. And of course, it's the worst variant ever. Meanwhile, we're all sat here having no new infections and getting on quite nicely, thank you very much. So what's happening in South Africa? I'll tell you. I'm going to the pub where I'm going to drink a beer, which will cost me the equivalent of £1.
So it's kind of humorous, but this is disastrous for the countries of in Southern Africa. You have no travel. I mean, this is draconian, and it was swift. It was resolute. Sorry.
And this is the time of year you want. That's where it's nice and warm down there. It's cold up here.
Yes, of course.
So this is the time you'd go down there.
So this is an economic move. This has nothing to do with health. We don't even know what's going on with this variant other than it seems to be broken down and weakened to the point of a common cold. So why are we doing this? And we got, actually, it was a Dutch producer who sent me a note. He said, I see you guys talking about what China is doing in Uganda with the airport. He says, go and take another look at that story and find the real source. And gosh darn it, he was right. That was propaganda. China is not taking over the airport. There is a default on the loan, but they have not exercised any rights to take it over or capture it. That, according to the producer, and I have to agree with him upon some further research, is total propaganda from what I'm calling the geocons. We had the neocons. These are the geocons, the globalists. They're up to something, and I think it's bad, and it's going to take place in Africa. And we see it, I think, unfolding more by the horn. So let's just keep South Africa placeholder for a second. Economic warfare against them. Why? Maybe it'll become clear if we go up towards what's happening in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, we have a war going on between is it Ethiopia and I'm very poor at all this. I think factions from Sudan.
Well, they're actually within Ethiopia, so I can't remember the name of the group, but they're up there, and they're just a bunch of troublemakers.
Well, what I've learned is that this is Tigray. Tigray, that's what it is.
The Tigrayans.
So the Tigrayans are being attacked from the north and the south by two different factions who are working together, and the main guy is Abiy Ahmed, who is trying to, in essence, take over the country. And this is the guy, it's always funny, who 2 years ago got a Nobel Peace Prize. So it's always
always good for a laugh.
Yeah, it's like yes.
If you go on your searches, I had a lot of updates on this Ethiopian situation that we never played.
Well, I have an update right here, and then we'll see how far we can go. An update again from India.
Joe Biden is threatening sanctions. He's also withdrawing all non-essential embassy staff, and this is a problem for Abiy Ahmed. He's been fighting a war for 10 months, and wars are expensive. In 2020, Ethiopia's military expenditure was $460 million. This year, more than $400 million already. The Americans are not interested in financing this war, so who will? Enter China. Beijing has always eyed Ethiopia as an outpost for its Belt and Road project, and this is the perfect opportunity. Foreign Minister Wang Yi turned on the charm offensive in Ethiopia. All the war crimes and massacres could wait. There was a country to colonize. He gave a crash course on Chinese foreign policy. Listen to this. China adheres to the principle of non-interference in internal affairs. We do not meddle in the internal affairs of Ethiopia, and we also oppose any external forces interference in the internal affairs of Ethiopia. We'll talk about double standards. Last we checked, Wang Yi is not an Ethiopian citizen. He is the foreign minister of China, another country. He is visiting Ethiopia. He's siding with the government in a civil war, ignoring war crimes, and then talking about non-interference. The perks of being a Chinese diplomat. You can say one thing and do another, no questions asked. China's designs in Ethiopia were expected. It was their perfect project, a vacuum left by the Americans and a civil war. No way China was just going to stand by. But the worrying part is this. Ethiopia is falling for Beijing's lies. It is eagerly lapping up Chinese money.
Now, if you look at Ethiopia, which, right off there is Djibouti, where we have a base, the Chinese have a base. Right to the west, we have Sudan, and we have the Blue Nile River, and the dam that Sudan is building, which everyone is freaking out about. It's with Chinese money to dam up the Blue Nile River, which supplies, I think, 80% of all the seasonal flow into the White Nile, which is what Egypt needs. We have Eritrea, all in the mix, and it's all China. So what I'm just early extrapolation is the geocon. This is Tony Blinken, all these dickheads in the State Department. They don't care about what's happening in America. Well, it's not their job, I guess, technically. They want to, I think, draw China in further. Well, no, wait a minute. Everywhere where China has a hold, we may be going in saying, hey, don't give up your stuff to them. We'll lend you the money. We'll lend you the money to pay them off, and then we'll work it out later. That could be one scenario. Certainly happening to all those countries in the southern part of Africa, all have China in there. Or maybe they just want to redeploy all the forces and let's fight China in Africa. It would be perfect. Look what they're doing to the poor black people.
Well, I agree with you that something's up. Exactly what the plans are.
We don't know. We don't know.
This would be the same. This happened in Libya. If you remember, the Chinese were deep in Libya before we took out Gaddafi and humiliated him, got rid of him, even though he's one of our friends, supposedly. and then they showed these abandoned buildings that the Chinese were building, like a whole city, and it was just left. The Chinese throw money away, and I think we're just trying to bleed them.
Sure. We're fighting them. We're fighting them economically, but these people love war and death and destruction and tanks and soldiers and
they do like the little soldiers.
Yeah. And so,
as long as it's not their kids.
We were joking about Barbados on the last show. Barbados. That's the official pronunciation. Barbados. It's not Barbados. It's Barbados. And why they denounced the Queen, or did they denounce, or they just say, "Hey, we're their own republic now"?
No, they don't denounce. They didn't denounce because they're still in the Commonwealth. They just took the Queen, instead of her being the titular ruler, they ousted her.
Got a
replaced her with an elected person.
Boots on the ground report was on vacation in Antigua. Went to an all-inclusive adults-only resort. Woohoo! We know what goes on there. Did you pay with beads? The temperature is pretty much the same all year round, and your sex drive goes through the roof. Told you. It's definitely a fantastic place to escape. Lots of Brits who don't tip that well are there. Beautiful warm water, not too humid, upper 70s, mid 80s. On one of the party boat snorkel excursions, we went by the new massive Chinese embassy that's being built. From what I recall, the boat tour guide person told us it's 3 stories high, 3 stories below ground, and accommodates 1,000 people. China also built a $300 million cricket stadium for free.
Is it in Antigua?
Yeah.
Well, that's the next to go then.
Yep. Yeah. It's right. Isn't that right next door?
It may be part of this. We'd have to look it up, but it may be part of the same government. Barbados and Antigua, perhaps.
It's fantastic. So it's on. It's on. And I just think this Omicron virus is being used to vax the whole world and to, find a way to kick off something with China.
Something's up.
Mm-hmm. Either that or they're just letting them have it. I find that hard to believe.
I find that very hard to believe.
Go ahead, take Africa, everybody. There's a lot of fighting over that. A lot of fighting. There's
too many minerals and good stuff in Africa to let it slide like that. That's where all the, a lot of rare earths, Chinese, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a good job of flummoxing any of our attempts to do anything.
A quick update on the mandates. We were talking about violence in language regarding mandates. People using boost them? All these violent words.
Yeah, boost them. Boost. Get boosted.
The Globe and Mail reports Canada should resist urge to drop the hammer on the unvaccinated. At least for now.
All violence.
Yeah, drop the hammer. Yes.
I have I'm sorry.
Please.
I have that Kramer thing where he went off the deep end.
Sure.
In that same show, I pulled a clip that's different than that clip.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did.
This may have something to do with that clip in a funny kind of a way. But I thought that this was actually
Well, should we play the rant first? Should we play the rant first so we get like a good contrast with whatever?
Well, the rant actually came after this. This came early in the show.
Okay.
And then it led to the rant.
Okay.
And I don't think we need to do the rant. You can listen to this, and you can do the rant. If you think the rant would follow well, then you play the rant. But let's play this.
The only analyst I saw who was willing to go there for a moment is John Hatzius from Goldman Sachs, a very fine analyst who laid out 4 scenarios, 2 of which were positive, 1 of which was uber positive. So what is the right way to approach the Omicron strain? I'm glad you came to me, because I think what I want to do is go clinical. What I've learned to do through this whole scenario is rely on science. And that means relying on Pfizer, which, by the way, stock was down today, seemed attractive to me, and Moderna.
Wow.
Now, we heard from Dr. Albert Bourla, CEO of Pfizer, and Stéphane Bancel, CEO of Moderna, this morning on Squawk. I found myself thinking, I sure hope these 2 people win Time Magazine's Person of the Year, because they're amazing. Bourla reassured me that Pfizer not only has something in the works for Omicron, they also got some antiviral that you can take when you get sick, and if they can pump that thing out by the tens of millions, which I think they can, well, then we're going to be a lot less fearful, a lot more buoyant. As for Bancel, he plans to be the first out of the gate with the vaccine for this strain, just like he was the first out of the gate in 2020, when everyone was dumping stocks left and right. I trust these two gentlemen as much as I distrust the people running the World Health Organization, the CDC, the FDA, and the NIH, a veritable alphabet soup of experts who seem like they're actually in way over their heads.
Wow. By the way, the stock is down. Seems like a good opportunity to me.
I got a kick out of that.
Wow.
Too.
I had a back and forth secure chat with one of our producers who was in the Pfizer shipping supply chain. This is interesting. Here's the back and forth. Purple cap Pfizer is going to be retired this month. Will be transferring to gray cap Comirnaty. So I said, what do you mean? Are they just putting different caps on the existing vial? Yes. They have requested we use as much of the Pfizer purple caps as possible before requesting the Comirnaty gray caps. The Pfizer BioNTech vaccine is going away. The Comirnaty will be replacing it. No more emergency youth authorization protection for adults. However, the pediatric will continue to be the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. And so I say, but wait a minute. You're saying they're taking the exact same stuff and they're putting a different label on it and a different cap? And then they're just saying, this is it now? Yes, there would be no way of telling Pfizer Comirnaty and Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine are biologically and chemically the same thing. Yes, but they weren't approved, even though it's the same thing. And what our source says, if I had to guess, with the soon-to-come therapeutic Paxlovid, that's the Pfizer Mectin, Pfizer needs to move off of the emergency youth authorization vaccine into the licensed vaccine. Time to start clearing out inventory and reduce the dead stock. Also, if Pfizer moved into the licensed vaccine and therapeutic, it would be a death blow to Moderna and Janssen. Neither would be able to distribute their emergency youth authorized vaccine. Anecdotally, the availability of Janssen and Moderna has become constrained at the federal level and is dwindling. They can order both, but still don't get nearly as much as asked for. For example, I know of an order of 2,000 doses of Moderna this week that will only be receiving 900. So this could be the big move.
Well, this was my error in my analysis. Because I had said when we discussed this based on the fact that you sent me a note about what emergency use authorization requires, I suggested that this was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, the term I used, amongst the group of schemers. So they would say, you'll give us, stay with emergency use. You don't want to switch over because then we're fucked. We won't be able to sell our stuff.
Right.
And then the pill can't come in under emergency use once there's something that's valid, that's approved, and is sold here as such. Then the rest of the stuff has got to go away, or it has to go into testing, further testing.
Right.
And so I thought it was a scheme amongst thieves.
No, it's backstabbing Pfizer.
This is a scheme amongst Pfizer to slowly screw these guys over, get rid of the competition.
Yep.
Now, they could have done that sooner, though. That's the thing that kind of bothers me.
Well, but
once Comirnaty was approved, and what he says is true, just switch out the caps and change the labels, they could have done that months ago. If they wanted to screw everybody over.
Well, no, but they couldn't. Yeah,
it's got something to do with the pill.
They didn't have the approval of the pill yet. The pill needs to be approved.
Yeah, I don't think that, well, we'll see.
Oh, that thing's going to get approved. Of course it will. Hello. All right, let's just run through a couple of issues that even though there's no vaccine mandate except for most government employees, but even contractors, all of that has been thwarted, stopped. It's all deemed illegal by the courts. It's in limbo, but everyone just keeps on continuing. And here's one of our producers in the news.
In August, a division of the USDA that inspects meat products issued an order saying plants that were federally inspected needed to require masks. Noel-Chex Meats said it would not comply. Lindsay Fox owns the small Clark County meat processor, where masks are optional for employees.
We decided to respect our team members' wishes and not require them to wear masks. So the decision is left up to the individual and we don't feel it is our job as a business owner to police that.
In response, the USDA threatened a sanction. Now, Nolcheks is suing, saying the regulation is not based on food safety and represents an overreach of federal power. They're asking a judge to throw out the policy. The USDA declined to comment. Rob Mentzer, Wisconsin Public Radio.
Good for them, man.
It's our guys.
Yeah. Chad,
Nolchek Meats.
Yep, Chad wrote in. Just want to say thank you again for all the support from you and John, and of course all the karma we've been receiving throughout our ordeal here at Nolcheks. I think the simple fact of sending a note and a couple $100 to become a producer has been some of the best value for value ever. Nolchek Meats has the best value for value Nolchek Meats has ever encountered due to the amazing community you two Utes have constructed. Thank you sincerely from the bottoms of our hearts, from the whole crew here at Nolchek. Stay dangerous.
And if anyone's going to buy anything from them, I highly recommend, besides the brats, which are in Wisconsin, and there's, they're excellent. They're better than you can get locally, generally speaking. Mm-hmm. Although Texas, your neck of the woods there,
we got some
good brats.
Yeah, we got some brats.
But their bacon is absolute top
Ooh,
notch.
yes. We have had some of the bacon, too.
Very well done.
He's good bacon, man.
Yeah, I would say get lots of that.
Ton of protests over this weekend. Utrecht in the Netherlands. People are really getting upset. Austria, even though the unvaccinated are locked down and not allowed to do anything. Did you see the fence at the supermarket where unvaccinated have to walk on one side of the fence and vaccinated walk on the other? Have you learned nothing, Austria? It's time for the Von Trapp family to do a reprise. What is wrong?
Hitler approves this tweet.
Yes, that was very funny. Luxembourg, Melbourne, big protest, and they can't stop it, but all they do is just don't report on it. So no one else around the world knows that anyone else is going through this. I got a very distressing note from Heidi. She's in New Brunswick, Canada. A province, she says, of approximately 600,000. We have some of the strictest COVID restrictions in North America. As of midnight tonight, we will need to show our Vax Pass to buy essentials at retail stores. So no Vax Pass, no essentials. I'm not sure what you do then. To my knowledge...
Starve to death.
Well, she has a conclusion. To my knowledge, we are the trendsetters in North America for this. It's a shame we're not getting any media attention, as this may be one of the most restricted places on the planet. And to add, I am an unvaccinated registered nurse recovering from COVID with 20 years ICU experience, suspended with no pay, not able to use vacation or bank time, leave of absence without pay, may come back once proof of vaccination is provided, not able to retire early or collect unemployment insurance benefits, go home and starve. Love, Heidi.
What is the reason for her needing a vaccine? She's got COVID.
Because it's about tagging, not about vaccines.
Here's Trudeau's message to the children.
This guy is sick. These people are so sick.
You're going to be able to get your vaccine as soon as you turn 5. And I know you're excited and I know you're eager. In some places across the country, you can even start making your appointment now for shortly after your birthday.
Oh, this is for 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute.
Little kitties.
Oh, how cute. Oh, that's so nice. Holy crap. Oh, my God. Anything else on the COVIDs? I think we may...
Oh, let's see. I thought I had something about... I probably didn't clip it. It was on the efficacy of natural immunity and some of the reports that have come in.
Mm.
And I don't see it on my clip list.
No. Well, then let's do a quick OTG.
OTG going OTG. I'm an OTG kind of guy.
Oh yeah, off the grid, baby.
OTG going OTG. I'm an OTG kind of guy.
Definitely time to go off the grid with what's going on.
OTG, yes.
We have a boots on the ground. I would say whistleblower status that came in. But first, let's just run down 4 headlines just so you have them. In the infrastructure bill, I don't know if we talked about this, but people are very concerned about an apparent provision that requires, as of 2026, a backdoor kill switch for all vehicles sold in the United States. Are you aware of this development?
No, tell me the details again. What year?
As of 2026.
Okay, I'm not buying any cars after... well, I'm not...
What car are you buying, son? What cars are we... What new cars are we buying?
Cars are 2005.
I was going to say, what new cars are we buying? I don't think so.
None.
This was... we just have to mention this because the minute 23andMe came out, I'm sure we were quite unanimous in saying, no, I'm not going to have any DNA stored with anywhere, certainly not anyone related to the Google boys. And here we go. Diagnostic Center, DDC, or DNA Diagnostic Center, DDC, a popular DNA and paternity testing company, announced that they had a breach. And
really?
Yes.
How is that even possible?
Millions of DNA records stolen. I love it. Love it. So cool. But here's the meat of it. Boots on the ground report. I'm a former and I've verified this person. I'm a former executive of one of the big four advertising marketing agency holding companies. So there's only a couple. We know of Omnicom. We know of, what are the other ones we have?
Oh, you mean the big boys?
Yeah.
Omnicom. Advertising agency.
Yeah, what's the other one? The French guys. Anyway, there's four big ones. I ran something called a, quote, practice, which in modern consulting speak is basically a business unit that specializes in one thing. The practice I formed was the CDP practice, and we're gonna learn this. It stands for Customer Data Platform. Remember, this is a marketing and communications company. The term came on the scene in the last 5 years. John might know the predecessor of the concept known as the marketing data warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Can you tell us about the marketing data warehouse?
Well, that actually stems from something else, which is the mailing list era. There was a thing called databases.
Mm-hmm.
And what they determined is that if you can collect enough data on people, in the early days, all you could do it is with subscriptions. But
right.
You could take a subscriber to Argosy, Field and Stream, and you can put everybody goes in a database, all the subscribers of all the magazines, and then you say you want some guy who likes to fish, but he also likes sports cars.
Oh, so this was really the specialty publications. They were all available in a data warehouse as to who's subscribing to what.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you could say, I want to get, the mailing list business was a big deal back in the day. And so you say, I'm looking for a guy who's a sports car enthusiast who likes to fish. And they could give you guys who are subscribed to Field and Stream, Argosy, and, sports car or whatever it is, Car and Driver, let's say. One of the sports car magazines is probably, it used to be more magazines. And they'd give you that mailing list, and you'd pay a little premium for it as opposed to just renting the list from Argosy. And because you could rent a list directly, I could rent any list from any magazine, and so I'd rent a list from True, let's say, magazine, or Field and Stream, and it would cost so much, $1,000. And then if I wanted to rent one of these database mailing lists, I'd pay an extra $5. And it was a big deal. That's the way everyone went. They all started going in that direction. So they took that idea and took it to one step higher and started accumulating other data on the whole public. And now with the YouTube TV and all these ways of tracking people, and the fact that magazines, nobody cares anymore, you have to find new ways of isolating people. So if you want to find someone who is a sports car enthusiast who likes to fish, you go through this system, one of these new systems that he's doing.
Well, you'll be pretty surprised, I think, to hear that they've expanded a little bit with what they have.
I am sure it's a lot more sophisticated than anything I've ever.
Customer Data Platform, CDP, a term that every major tech company is trying to own right now, given how powerful it is. A CDP is basically the one view of the customer and system of record. Most were originally CRMs, example Salesforce and other systems that handled identity. But that's the context. I was the identity and privacy consultant for years there globally. In my position, I was read in deeply on what Google, Facebook, Amazon, advertising, IBM, Samsung, Microsoft, etc. were doing with their customer data hoovering systems. It's a vacuum cleaner. This was mostly because they wanted my company's massive media budgets to flow through their pipes. I knew their roadmaps before most of the business community did. In one case, for one of the big platforms, I was given alpha-level access to data they were testing with trusted folks. I was allowed to subcontract several of my team members into these platforms as part of our partnership. It was almost like marrying off our engineers. I could go on, but I'll end the context on me with this. I can read this. I was offered a job in a big tech company around this topic and refused because I couldn't join the ranks of these types of people. I was secretly, known only to my closest team members, a huge critic of everything they were doing and often felt like an arms dealer. Yes, businesses need data, but the stuff happening out there right now would freak people out if only they understood it or stopped tuning it out. I worked on the team that originally planned the Australian Citizen ID system, Chicago Citizen ID platform, and others. Again, this is a marketing guy, marketing database working on the Australian Citizen ID system, Chicago Citizen ID system. We had clearances to do that kind of work in-house, and I was always brought in as the subject matter expert. They asked to come in and do presentations about the future. So John's mention of the mobile ID research was my line to start contributing here. If there are any questions, I can help, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A couple things that are happening right now. Retail associates are being outfitted with name tags that have recording devices on them to capture and use natural language processing to understand what makes a good sale and which associates do not make a sale. The Samsung point you made on the last show, that's about them integrating the COVID pass, just show for your information, this has been the case for a while now. In 2017, they rolled out an ID chain. In South Korea, it's not uncommon. Adding health status has always been part of the plan, and Samsung actually acquired a telehealth company to inherit their HIPAA approval and nest the policies under that company. This is so evil. Samsung is broken up into different companies for regions, so Samsung Electronics American, SEA, was not able to do what Samsung Korea had been doing for years. Not sure if you picked up on the story, but in Sweden, but they're going full on implants now. Yes, of course we did.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I love the implants.
He goes, it's almost done here. Nothing you ever asked for to be deleted gets truly deleted. The laws as written allow delete to also mean make a copy, remove the identifier, and save it. You'd be surprised how many companies aren't actually doing that method, mostly tech companies, but they are starting to catch on. Voice printing is starting to get traction. It started in the last 3 years. Now it's going widely. I expect every customer service center that you call into to be making a profile of your voice within the next few years. The company I joined is working extensively with NLP and language modeling, trying to challenge a lot of what the big platforms are doing. It's a good gig for me and my experience, and it's not big tech, so it keeps me going. I'm a dude named Ben, etc. So that's his basic report right there. That sounds pretty bad. That sounds pretty bad.
And they're way ahead of what we're thinking. That's what's really annoying.
It's very...
Well, you know what's going to happen next? No, it's already happened. Kind of thing. It's really good. I'm glad we got somebody and they tell us what's going on.
I expect more from this producer. This is. I think this is almost whistleblower level, don't you? Don't you kind of think that's?
No, not unless there's some specifics that can be proven to be illegal.
Well, ask, and thou shalt receive.
I'll ask and I'll see what happens. I mean, I do have to get that mobile ID thing finished.
Yeah,
but
what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on?
You know, the thing is, I've been wanting to say this for a while. Is that the tech scene back in the 80s? This is all predicted, and it was predicted in a very positive way. Oh, that's just great when you can do this. And the thing was it was always surrounding, originally, by the way, this idea of having all this information, which now everyone wants to put on the phone, so with the mobile ID, was a smart card. The smart cards, when they were first sold to the public, they were going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, because a smart card could be used as a storage for money. It could be used as a credit card.
Right.
It could be used as your passport.
Yep.
Your passport data could be on the smart card. It could be used for your ID, for your driver's license. It could be used for everything. And they could be used for your medical information. It could be on the smart card. All these things could be on the smart card. And the early presentations of smart card technology was predicting what we're seeing today. And it was all positive. Oh, that's great. You won't have to carry all these different cards around. You got one card. Nobody thought what happens is this card gets lost.
Were there ever any privacy objections at the time?
No.
Everyone's just all jitty with it. Yeah.
Well, there was a few outliers that would bitch and moan about privacy, but that was during that era, the 80s, the late 80s mainly. There was people like Scott McNeely, who ran Sun Microsystems, who came out with this comment, which is still being floated around, quote unquote. Privacy
is for
there
pussies.
Is no such thing.
Privacy is for pussies. I remember that.
Get over it. It was the comment about it.
Yeah.
No, but the smart card is going to be the be all end all, and then that's become the NFC smartphone,
right,
with all the same crap on it, and it's also a phone and a camera. So they really loaded up.
Amazing, and we walked right into it.
Oh yeah, no, applauding.
all jacked and jitty. Woo, woo! Way to go, everybody!
Yeah,
and with that,
thinking clearly.
I'd like to thank you for your courage. Say in the morning to you, the man who put the C in the customer relationship marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John C. Dvorak.
Well, in the morning to you, Mr. Adam Curry. In the morning, all ships at sea, boots on the ground, feet in the air, subs in the water, and all the dames and all the knights out there.
And in the morning to the trolls. Hello, trolls in the troll room, hanging out there at trollroom.io. We do it every single Thursday and Sunday. We ask them to raise their hands. Go ahead, trolls. I'm going to count you. Let me see. Then they scurry away. Look at them all. Oh, look at them all. Ooh, we have a magic number today. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's karma right there. It's not a record, but it's great. I love it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whenever the numbers.
That's a good number.
You can join this angel number of trolls by going to trollroom.io, and there you can listen live. There's a lot to listen at noagendastream.com. It's 24/7. It's all the best podcasts, many of them live. You can really participate. Instant gratification. Troll, watch the podcaster's head explode. That's what it's there for, trollroom.io. If you don't want to watch someone's head explode, then I recommend following Adam at noagendasocial.com or John C. Dvorak at noagendasocial.com. And that is a Mastodon federated server. It works a lot like Twitter, only it doesn't because there's no algorithms. You start at the new thing and you work your way down. When you see something you've seen before, that's over. Time to close the window and do something else. And it really improves the signal to noise. And you can follow all of this from any Mastodon account. That's how the Fediverse works. And I see that the Netherlands is working on noagendasocial.nl. So they will have a Dutch language, a predominantly Dutch language Mastodon, and that will seamlessly integrate with ours whenever applicable. So that will be very exciting. What are you doing, man?
I'm looking for a battery.
What do you need a battery for?
My mouse.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Well,
do you need a moment?
No, it doesn't need it. No, it's just loose.
A moment for yourself?
No, I don't need a moment.
A moment. All right, then let us thank the artists for episode 1404. We titled that one The Flubmeister, and why not? And Darren O'Neill, off his losing streak.
Who?
Darren O'Neill, off of the losing streak, to bring us the Omicron film 33 by Kodak, create the big picture. I think it was unanimous, and
it was cute.
Obviously inspired by the Omicron end of show ditty from Mike Malaro.
Well, the Kodak thing was nice, and it was a Kodachrome, and it had 33. Like, normally it'd be, I said it'd say 35 or 36 on the normal label. It was good. It was just funny and nailed it, and it jumped.
It did. It popped. It jumped. What else? Oh, you very much like Rick Harris's finally seeing the media clearly, which I like too, but we felt it was
Which one
more.
was that?
This is the reading chart with the.
No, that's the one you liked.
No, you like that, and you said this is really good.
No,
but
I
it's,
said
as
for
the newsletter,
evergreen.
Yeah, evergreen and newsletter. But you liked it.
Yeah, I did like it. You're right. There's another one I liked a lot though, and I'm trying to think which one it is. I like the no agenda Clint Eastwood thing. I mean, I just like the image, but the wordage was not working.
No. Here's what you were all jacked about. You were about Kenny Benn serve and inject.
Oh yes, the cop.
Yeah,
that's the piece I was jacked. Yeah, that's the one I like the most.
Yeah,
you're right.
But I found didn't work.
You didn't like it.
No, I liked it. The size, the letters are too small. It's hard to read.
No, you were offended by it.
You're such a liar. You lie.
No, I'm just going by what happened.
You lie, man. You lie like just speak with forked tongue. It's no good.
But anyway, I like Nestworks' that was Nestwork that did the and you're right, Roger Roundy bailed out as he would. Because you blamed me last time saying I said, or somebody on the No Agenda.
Roger Roundy's like done. He's done.
That was your thought.
Now, I don't feel bad because I got an email from one of our producers who went on a couple dates with Roger Roundy.
Dates,
as in like hanging out, male female thing.
Yeah, was it male or female?
Female, and so I
was just checking.
and she said, "Look, you're probably right. That guy, once he's got a win, he's going to go, oh, screw it." But she said, "I do want you to know that it was Roger Roundy who hit me in the mouth. He is always out promoting No Agenda.
He's a fan of the show.
Yeah, he's a big fan. Yeah, he's a big fan. So,
well, he is
apparently a lousy date, but that's just her. That's just one woman's opinion.
Did he?
I have no idea.
Spend more money. That usually helps. So I was looking at his portfolio again, and he is, and I think there's some indication in his background that he thinks of himself as this too. He is the modern day Hieronymus Bosch.
Hieronymus Bosch?
Yeah, he's the one who did all those figures, the Garden of Earthly Delights, and he's a very famous, I think he's in the 1500s or something. If you look at one of his pieces, you'll go, oh yeah, Hieronymus Bosch. I know who that is.
I'm looking
Not
right
Hieronymus
now.
Bosch.
Oh, yes, of
Yeah.
course. These are very, very complex images, by the way.
Yeah, and this is Roundy. He's a modern version of because nobody else does some of these types of images.
Right. It's funny if
they produce nothing Hieronymus Bosch like for our show.
If you go to a search engine, you type in Hieronymus Bosch, which is spelled with a Y. You get a whole bunch of his art, but also dispersed throughout the whole picture, a Bosch brand e-bike engine.
That's from Bosch Electronics.
Very strange that
out of Germany.
Just throwing that up there. All right,
if I made the engine, I'd call it a Hieronymus.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Steal some links.
Stuff back. Thank you to Darren O'Neill for bringing us a great piece of art. A lot of great comments. It popped like crazy, which is why we love this as part of our value for value model, where producers all around Gitmo Nation, you really help run the show. You give us the insights, the backgrounds, the stuff that we have no idea about. Everybody in the production audience has at least one thing they're an expert in, and you send it to us. But also the artists, the jingle makers, the websites, the search engines, all of that. And the third T, the time, talent, and treasure, is where we like to thank our executive and associate executive producers. And in this case, for episode 1405.
Yes, and this begins with Sir Onimus of Dogpatch in Lower Slobovia.
The monthly, here he is.
He comes in every month, yeah. This time he's always a code number. And this time it was 1954, 1954. Not much of a note. He doesn't seem to have much to say this month. He says, thank you for all the producers, meetup hosts, and mouth hitters that make this community strong and open to all types and opinions. Yet seemingly never having a fight. Evidently part of the No Agenda mission statement. Little reminder that I should send you that so you can post it.
Yeah, let's put that up any day now. Part of our FAQ.
When you have little to say, speak little. Numbers are enough. No jingles, no karma. That's it.
All right. So we've never figured out his code ever. 1954. Well, let's see what happened in December of 1954. Here we go. December 1st, the first Hyatt Hotel opened. No, that's not it. December 2nd, the Red Scare. The Senate votes 67-22 to condemn Joseph McCarthy. But this may be it. December 4th, one day before today's show day, in 1954, the first Burger King opened in Miami, Florida. So there's got to be something in here that leads us back to his code.
So the Burger King... And it opened in the first. This is surprising to me that the first Burger King, which I always thought was a Canadian chain, I don't know.
Well, maybe it was the first one to open in Miami, Florida. Maybe I'm reading it in the wrong way.
Or maybe maybe it was a British chain. But of course, I've never seen one in Britain anywhere. So it seems unlikely.
No, it was headquartered in Miami-Dade County, Florida. Founded in 1953 as Instaburger King. Instaburger King.
Instaburger King.
Wow, what marketing genius got fired over that? Interesting.
Burger King.
All right, so that's probably not it. But it doesn't matter because we know that we can always count on Sir Onimus of Dogpatch and Lower Slobovia.
And if he's got something to say, he says it.
He says it. He does. He does. But as much as I talk about the code, he never addresses that. Ever.
No, he did that one time. A couple of months ago, he said, I am very happy that John is, I think, assiduous in counting the money, so it's the exact amount that he actually sent.
Right.
He made it clear that was important.
Well, thank you, Sir Onimus. Loved and appreciated as always. From
James... okay,
I was going to do this. From Cary, North Carolina, James Schneeberger, known as Sir Zimbabwe, a recent knight, says, I'm sending a donation of
He's actually from the Liberated Socialist People's Republic of Cary.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice the moniker. Yes, you're right. Sending a donation of $500 to say thank you for the show, but also to send some respect karma, if there's such a thing, to my child bride, Marianne Schneeberger, Dame of Disaster. She recently completed a Herculean task of a family nature with dignity, aplomb, honesty, and grace. J'adore, mon chéri. Ma chérie. On another note, we live in the Liberated Socialist People's Republic of Cary, North Carolina, which is not far from Fuquay-Varina. As the No Agenda show seems popular in this area, perhaps a meetup is in the cards. Attached a clip from a friend in the land down under. These camps are real. Yes, we have played parts of these real camp clips. All the best. Aluda continua. Sir Zimbabwe, Jim Schneeberger. Thank you very much, Jim.
Mandy Bates is up from Bennington, Vermont, where there's a very, I think, isn't that where Bennington, University of Bennington College or whatever it is? 42414. ITM John and Adam. Today's donation is made for multiple reasons. Number one, my 54th birthday is today.
Ooh.
And the amount brings me to damehood.
Nice.
Two, the amount is for 42414, the day I graduated from massage therapy school after having that dream for 25 years. I wonder what dream that was. Three, I am finally starting my own practice after being an independent contractor for 6 years and know that the No Agenda karma works. Four,
beautiful.
Health karma for my awesome kid who is having her first colonoscopy at 29 to make sure she does not end up a colorectal cancer survivor like her mom and instead stays healthy. A clean bill of health for her will be the best birthday present next to damehood.
That's kind of isn't that rare for women to have a colon cancer?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, sure.
5, and finally, hoping for a quick plug for the new business I have been listening since 2020 and appreciate the amygdala shrinking you provide twice a week in this crazy world. Between you and being able to practice my passion of massage therapy. That combination has literally kept me off the ledge. I am in southwestern Vermont, where a lot of people are on the ledge, and want to let fellow No Agenda listeners who may be in the area that if they schedule an appointment and mention No Agenda, there's a 10% discount.
Woo!
My business is called The Moment Massage Therapy. It's the only place you need to be. And the website is www.inthemoment Massage Therapy, world's longest URL.
It's .com.
.com. Lastly, I'd like to be known as Dame Melody Healer.
Dame Mandy.
In the Green Mountains.
Dame Mandy.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Dame Melody.
Yes, because Melody. I was thinking Fugazoto. Dame Mandy Healer in the Green Mountain State, and I may request seltzer with a splash of cranberry juice and lime and penny alla vodka, which is a pasta dish that's
got vodka in it.
It's got vodka in it.
Yum.
For the roundtable, please. No jingles, just health and new business karma. Image blush and a quick shout out for better days ahead to Sir Dodger of the Northeast Kingdom. Thank you for your courage, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much. Mandy Bates, Bennington, Vermont. We'll see you on the podium a little bit later on. And for your daughter and for all the other reasons, here's your karma.
You've got karma.
Moving on to, there he is, Dave Fugazoto, the Duke of America's Heartland and the Arabian Peninsula in America's Heartland. There we go. First week in December is always special, he says, and this is $374.63. There must be a reason for this. Numerology matters. First week in December is always special when I commemorate becoming the husband to Dame Melody and father to Dame Isabella. Lots to celebrate this year since we missed the last one. Thanks, thanks, COVID. 18 years, and we never had a fight. Please add Dame Isabella to the birthday list for Tuesday when she formally enters her teens. Ho-ho! She's an incredible young lady, and we are incredibly blessed to have her. We spent a couple of weekends in New York City to see a few Broadway shows recently, so all I can afford now is a birthday shout-out. Love you, kiddo. Oh, so we get the donation, and the kid is like, happy birthday. Did you enjoy New York? Good. I love that. That's parenting right there. Considering Dame Melody and I are in a mixed marriage, she retired from the Navy and I from the Army. Yes, this is obviously can be an issue. How about a little bit of go Army beat Navy goat karma? The game's not until next weekend, but I figure it's a good idea to get a head start considering Army stole the wrong Bill the goat this year. I mean, appropriated, of course, because a cadet will not lie, cheat, or steal or tolerate those who do. At least they didn't when I was there. Oh, is this the thing? They steal the goat, the mascot? Is that what they do, the Army-Navy games?
Probably. It's like the axe or any of these little symbols of fire hydrant.
Blessings upon you both. Thanks, as always, for doing the voodoo that you do so well. Dave Fugazoto, thank you very much, and have a great week and a great December.
You've got karma.
I remember when some years ago, Cal stole the actual mascot of Stanford and put it somewhere where no one could find it.
What is the mascot of Stanford?
A tree.
I should have burned it. Funny.
Well, it was borderline. Umami Mama and PayPal. Oh, Popple. Umami Mama and Papa.
Papa. No, that's an exclamation mark. Papa.
Oh, Papa. 3334. I'm sorry, 333.34 in Clifton Heights, Pennsylvania. Which I always thought was in New Jersey. After asking for house karma a few months ago, not only did we close on the house, but I've since been promoted to the head of my department. My husband just got the job he was hoping for, and our first human resource is officially on the way.
Holy crap, they got the house selling karma, they got the jobs karma, and the human resource karma. That is good. Very nice.
So much for to be grateful for. A donation was definitely in order. No jingles, no karma, love.
Very nice. We love Umami Mama and Papa. Thank you. 33333 from Nashville, Tennessee. Steve Banstra in the morning, gents. Oh, no, this is Jessica, my amazing husband. hit me in the mouth of March of 2019, and y'all are the gift that keeps on giving. Not only is my husband sexy, but obviously brilliant for introducing me to the best podcast in the universe. For his 52nd birthday on December 6th, I'd like to give him the producer credit. This is already done. Happy birthday to the love of my life, Steve Serbanstra, Knight of the Nashville Aerodromes. I love you more than words. Love, Jessica, Dame Smokin' Hot Stew, Nashville, Tennessee.
Sir Anthony Seven, Baron of Hamilton in Westfield, Indiana. 333.33. Nice. Greetings to you, gentlemen, from Hamilton County, Indiana. As I sit here pondering the holidays, I realize it has been far too long since my last contribution. The calendar tells me there are 6 more shows before my birthday on December 23rd. To rectify this, I have decided to contribute the magic number 3333 for each show until then. In so doing, I will gift to myself the title of Viscount.
Wow.
I challenge all the barons who now hear this to do likewise, you barons. No karma, no jingles for today, but I may ask for something in the next note on Thursday.
Wow. That's a pledge right there. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sir
I'd
Anthony
say.
Seven, Baron of Hamilton. Very nice.
He's a humble servant.
Sean comes in with the preferred executive producer donation, $333.33. Everyone should be an executive producer of a media property at least once in their life, and he's in Annapolis Junction in Maryland, Spokesville City. Sean, a.k.a. Dallas.
That's one of them.
Please de-douche.
You've been de-douched.
Been listening since summer 2020. I really appreciate the service you two provide, sifting through the crapola from the M5M to help those who think and use discernment. No karma. I love to hear Little Girl, Shut Up Slave. We got that.
Shut up, slave.
There she is for you.
Interesting. Marcus Kimblowski in Westminster, Massachusetts, 333.33. A lot of executive producers today. I want to thank them all.
Crazy.
Started listening 2 months ago and absolutely loved the show. Hopefully more people will come to their senses and start listening to your show. Talk about it nonstop. Or he does. I talk about it nonstop.
Good,
Okay.
Marcus. Thank you. Hitting people in the mouth. We got Black Knight Big Loaf of the Blaz from Garner, North Carolina, 333.33. Hail the Foots. It's my birthday. There's someone who's been listening for a while. Hail the Foots. That's got to be 12, 13 years old, maybe.
Hail, yeah. It's long since forgotten.
Yes. It's my birthday, so no better time to donate. Please add me to the birthday list. You're on it. For jingles, I'd like Master of the House. Yes. Now that we finally located that after years of it being missing. And a Goat Karma, 73s from Black Knight Big Loaf of the Blaz, a.k.a. 333 in North Carolina on CB Channel 38 LSB. That's 27.385 kilohertz for all you people out there.
Dvorak.org/NA. Donate enough to be a knight someday.
You've got karma.
All right, I'm going to look for the donation note, which I would have assumed I would have caught last night unless it came in real late. Why don't you read the next one?
Yes, we have Charles van der Sande, and I see places unknown, 333. In the morning, I'd love a spooky JCD donate. We got one of those for you. With some goat karma. Obama, you might die, and some goat karma. Okay, we have all of that for you. That said, keep up the good work and the good humor. I hit my folks in the mouth with the live stream on their visit from Texas to NorCal, hoping it left a mark. LGB, Charles van der Sande.
You've got
Donate
karma.
You might
Yes,
not.
here we go.
Yeah. Oh, you have Jimmy Walnuts?
Jimmy Walnuts writes in, and he's also at 333.33. In the morning, and apologies to John. My next note will be shorter. I tuned in after I belatedly saw Adam's last appearance on the JRE, and the world has gone crazy. Now I have said it, a slave, but no longer a douchebag. We de-douche him, he doesn't ask for it, but that's what he wants.
You've been de-douched.
I didn't realize it until listening to you gents, but I've been deconstructing the media for years now.
Oh.
Your show is helping hone my skills and to reacquire some sanity. I'm hoping I don't lose my job of nearly 20 trips around the sun, but so be it. I'll not take the Fauci ouchie.
Good.
Anywho's, in need of a de-douching, you just got that. Some Biden, get vaccinated, and no, a special don't lose my job karma for everybody would suffice. Thanks for what you all do. Jimmy Walnuts, FEMA Region 7. Would love some fresh advice on phone privacy. Options right now are low, supply chain, and the hype is high.
Yeah, well, I would say no cell phone is the best. After that, I still think the flip phone is the safest. It's not very easy for day-to-day management of stuff. So we like noagendaphone.com. There it has instructions how you can load Graphene OS. And possibly even pay for it to be done for you. But if you want full-on privacy, then you do that yourself. And thank you for your courage.
Get vaccinated.
No.
Was there a karma as well? I think.
Yes, don't lose my job karma for all.
Oh, don't lose my job.
Jobs, and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You've got karma.
Now, do you have Amy Hummel's note? She says she put donation in the subject line. I have not seen it, so...
Well, let me look while you read the next note.
Yes, Sir Semi-Norwegian. And this is our first associate executive producer from Tengensdal, Norway, $250. Hey, I hope we're done with COVID come summertime so I can visit my grandma and other relatives in North Dakota. It would be great to meet other producers from North or South Dakota while over there. Please feel free to reach out to me if you're located in that area and would like to get to know a semi-Norwegian from Norway. Woo! For anyone on the NA socials, I am at semi-Norwegian at noagendasocial.com. For anyone who missed the opportunity to join No Agenda Social, I set up the following email only for this purpose, seminorwegian@gmail.com. If I may, send a heavy load of karma to anyone involved in making No Agenda a reality. You two, the producers, Void Zero, Eric, many, many more. It's a cast of thousands. Yes, they deserve GOAT.
You've got karma.
And there is no note from no note from Amy Hummel, who gave $333, and she's in Waterloo, Iowa.
Shoot.
Oh, by the way, Jimmy Wallace is 333.23, not 33. Yeah. That means anything to him.
Then I'll move on with Jonathan Russell from Kennesaw, Georgia, $250, associate executive producer credit for you. This is my first donation, so I need a de-douchebagging. Yeah, all right, Mr. De-douching.
You've been de-douched.
I've been listening regularly after Adam's second appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Rogan donation.
I gave it a go after his initial appearance, but the morning zoo crew setting gave me flashbacks of the terrestrial garbage that I left nearly 4 years ago. That's so interesting. Whenever I see someone hitting someone else in the mouth, they always say, just ignore the first segment. Just ignore the opening. It's not what you think it is.
Ignore the professionally produced opening.
Yeah, because it's too much like a morning zoo. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, this has been an issue for a decade or more.
Yes, and I think it's a good barrier. It's kind of
I've had mixed feelings about why anyone can't get past it, because most
30
of these
seconds.
podcasts are just dreadful. They have no opening, or they play a long musical bed that takes forever, or they just it's
well.
Or the worst ones are the ones that start off where they don't really start off. They sit and shoot the crap for a while, and they say, "Ready to start the show?" Yeah. What have I been listening to if you're ready to start the show?
Well, let's...
Ever notice that?
You want to just do a needle drop and just see what happens? He has Ramblings from a Teenage Girl podcast. That's the top podcast just popped up, random, on podcastindex.org.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ramblings of a Teenage Girl.
Okay, so that is much better than our opening, clearly.
I couldn't even hear it.
Let's try hot yoga. Yeah. This is like the Friends tune. I'll be there for you. Listen to this. We're already 13 seconds in, still playing music. Oh, jeez.
He goes on forever, some of these openings. They just like playing music. If you want to get a DJ job, get a license from ASCAP. And
here's another one. Branding and Rambling, coming in hot. Whatever comes next is the podcast. Again, just music. Would you please say something, people? Nope. What do these people do?
And welcome to Whatever Comes Next, the number one podcast for creatives, according to our mums.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, we really are so unlistenable.
Yeah.
Unlistenable.
I agree. I don't know why people want that.
Hello, wonderful souls, and welcome to the Empowered Woman Project.
Oh, yeah. That's what we...
Now you're going. Now you got it.
I want to be on that show.
Yeah, at least she starts off,
One more.
This is the show Procrastination Pals. We talk about who's, what, when's, why's, and how's. Two best friends with solid gold hearts.
Brother. Yeah, it's so hard to get past our intro. I understand. I understand with that level out there. And that was just needle dropping, people. That was not pre-produced, brother. Anyway, yes. The morning zoo crew setting gave me flashbacks of the terrestrial garbage that I left nearly 4 years ago. We're back to Jonathan Russell's note here.
Yeah.
It was his explanation, mine, of the social credit score that brought me back to give it another try. Now I find myself wishing away 5 out of 7 days a week. The content is excellent and easy to follow along, but there are many constant subtopics that I don't understand, such as the whole Mastodon thing, podcasting 2.0, and a host of others that fly over my head. That's not what I'm here for anyway, but it'd be pretty sweet to know what you guys were talking about. I'm not sure.
There's a couple of things. I want to mention a couple of things.
This will all be in the FAQ, by the way.
It will all be in the FAQ. But there's a lot of times that we jump into a topic that I tend to, if Adam does it, I tend to tell him to give us a little background.
Yeah.
And when I do it, and I do it as much as he does, I just continue rambling because Adam's too polite to tell me to give background. But we try to do that at least once in a while, so we explain. But we're not going to give background on things like podcasting 2.0. We've talked about it to death.
Yeah, just go to newpodcastapps.com.
Yeah.
And the Mastodon thing, I think we talk about we mention exactly what it is every single show. But it doesn't matter.
There's really nothing. There's nothing to talk about. It's not part of what we're doing here. It's just something. Okay, let's go on.
Wow. But hold on, let me finish his notes. You're so
I thought
testy. I'm not sure if I get a jingle for 250. Yes, you do. But if I do, I'd like to hear the train horn. That one gets me every single time. Also play Get Vaccinated No. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Biden vaccinated no. And you got the foamer. Yeah, I got that for you. And he winds up. Hopefully you're able to link this email with my donation. This is one of 4 on my path to knighthood. Can't wait to get my hand on that pimp-ass ring. Stay safe, he says.
Get vaccinated.
No.
Oh my God! Woo! Listen to that horn!
You've got karma.
Did you finally put together the vaccine no?
Yeah, don't you hear it? Don't you like it?
Yeah, because I was wondering, because the timing is just a slightly little bit better than when you do it singly.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Then I did a good job.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like it's got that perfect. It's inside baseball, but that kind of thing is.
It matters.
It matters in a very minor way. Justin Martin, Clark Fichtol in Clearwater, Kansas. Clearwater, Kansas. Is there any water there? Fichtol. Got punched in the mouth with Rogan. Boom. Rogan donation. Need a de-douching.
You've been de-douched.
And please put one of my human resources on the birthday list. Chloe Fichtol, who turns 10 on the 5th. Thank you for all you do. Could I get a stay safe and no jingle?
Good to see you. Please stay safe.
No.
That's actually pretty funny. Justin Martin from Coffeeville, Kansas. 2 from Kansas. What are the chances? 236.60 in the morning, fellas. Adam tossed me a shout out on an episode during the labor strike with John Deere. Yes, I did. Here's your cut of my ratification bonus. Huh. Well, congratulations. They ended that. They got what they wanted. It was settled. It was a great American labor dispute that ended without bloodshed. Well done. I could use some good karma for my podcast, Justin of the Wrong Kind of Podcast. He is UAW Local 2366, Coffeeville, Kansas. You bet. We definitely have some karma.
You've got karma.
With goat, actually.
And a shout out to a fellow UAW member.
Are you a UAW member?
I was.
Oh.
Two different unions, actually. 2 different UAWs, locals.
Were you a scab?
Dame Astrid, Duchess of Japan, and all the disputed islands in the Japan Sea in Tokyo, 222.22. I much love the 1970s barbershop haircutting guide in the newsletter. Adam's big hair back in the day is well known, but then hilarious moments ensued as I was trying to imagine John actually choosing one of these splendid visuals for his own style.
Yes, artist, you have your mission.
Much love to you both from Tokyo, Dame Astrid, the Duchess of Japan, and all the disputed islands in the Japan Sea.
With the now famous Row of Ducks donation. 222.22 to Row of Ducks. Nicholas Ferris, as we wind down, a couple more here, associate executive producers from Seguin Tech. I should know how to pronounce that. 214.
Yeah, you should.
My smoking hot wife, Marlena, donated for me on 1401. I'm happy to report the karma worked. I passed the Texas Master-Elect test. Adam is right. She is the best partner you could have. I love you, Marlena. Job karma, please, for myself and anyone else who needs it.
Jobs, 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 and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You've got karma.
Eric Constable's next at Jacksonville, Florida, $200.33. Just sharing some of my Salesperson of the Year money. Unfortunately, I can't go to the awards trip because I have not accepted the vaccine into my life. No jingles, no karma. Eric Constable, Salesman of the Year, Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm actually looking for this jingle, this next one here. Here we go. Justin Burkett, Fairbanks, Alaska, $200. Please de-douche me. Yeah, we can do that.
You've been de-douched.
And follow that up by calling out Jared of Gilmore Creek as a douchebag. Keeping us sane through the long, cold winters in Alaska. Jingle stolen from Jared. Kamala, don't come, followed by Trump. I'm going to come. Oh, my goodness. These are very, very traditional.
Do not come.
I'm going to come.
I
Okay.
think a no would have been added.
Yeah, that would have been funnier, but okay. Yeah.
Onward with Sir Dirt Farmer there, $200, parts unknown. He just says, jingles. Chemtrails, get vaccinated? No. The deconstruction has been stellar of late. Please keep up the great work. Happy holidays to all the producers out there. Love and lit. Sir Dirt Farmer.
Chemtrails. Get vaccinated.
No.
Then the final one is a note from Sir Don, the Baron of New Hampshire. Let me open this up because we have this OCR.
It's hard to read.
$200. Dear John and Adam, thank you for your courage. Need some major karma. Thanks, Sir Don, Baron of New Hampshire. He says, P.S. cash only. They are watching me. Yes, you got it. Major karma. Major karma.
You've got karma.
Yeah, we're watching you. All right. That is our group of associate executive producers and executive producers for show 1405. And we want to thank each and every one of them. It's a good list today, especially for a Sunday. Beat Thursday. You beat the Thursday audience.
Right.
So thank you very much.
And you're much prettier than the Thursday audience, I think. Don't you think? Just looking out, the Sunday audience.
Oh, yeah.
Good looking.
Yeah. Good looking group.
Good looking. Thanks to all of these now executive producers and associate executive producers. I say that because once you become one, you get a real title. You can use it anywhere. It works on LinkedIn. It works on your resume. It works in IMDb. Go take a look at IMDb. You'll see many No Agenda executive producers, associate executive producers, and proud of it. And look at their other credits. This is the real deal. We love everyone to have that chance. And if you'd like to join the ranks for our Thursday show, here's the address to go to.
Dvorak.org/NA.
Thanks again to all of you for bringing your time, talent, and treasure for 1405.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.
Order. Shut up, slave. Shut up, slave.
Well, we can go a lot of different ways here.
Well, how about
let's catch up with Theranos.
Oh my goodness, yes. All the fun trials that are ongoing right now. Theranos.
Yeah, nobody's covering them very well. This is a clip from probably from last Wednesday.
Can I just mention you're really off mic? Adjust it a bit because you're just dropping out.
I'm pretty close to the mic. Don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to get my new cheap mic and use that instead.
Oh, well, that's always a good... I'm always for getting a cheap mic because that always stands for quality.
So I'm going to do... I think we should do a review show
of mics and boxes.
Cheap mics. I ordered one of these little podcasting kits.
Mm-hmm.
The competitor to Podcasting Pro.
Well, okay, stop. No, this has nothing. This is a piece of crap from China.
It's a piece of crap.
I do know it's a piece of crap because I looked at the specs. It's a piece of crap. It doesn't do anything you need. But okay,
it has applause. I need applause. So this clip's from last Wednesday, I think, it's as newest as I can get local. This is where we're headed with the Theranos case and Blondie, who's now lying like a fiend.
In the ongoing Theranos fraud trial, former Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes made allegations in court that she was raped by her former boyfriend and Theranos COO.
Oh, this is a shocking development. This is shocking.
Sunny Balwani.
She's been living with the guy for 10 years.
They've been nothing but running the company in the ground together. But you raped me. Okay.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
By the way,
I'm a rape victim.
Believe all women, John. This is horrible what we're doing here. I can't believe that we're not believing her. I
believe her.
Okay, me too.
And TD's Jason Blair has more.
On Monday, Elizabeth Holmes took to the witness stand again in her defense, informing the court that she was raped by her former boyfriend and COO of Theranos, Sunny Balwani.
I just have to stop it there. If she's making this up, this is so evil. Imagine that you, instead of just taking your lumps, you go and throw this guy under the bus with a rape accusation? Wow. I hope she can prove this.
Holmes, the former CEO of Theranos, is facing 11 accounts of fraud along with Balwani. These charges are in regards to Theranos' blood testing laboratories making false claims of breakthroughs in blood testing technology cheating millions from investors, doctors, and customers. Holmes has pleaded innocent, claiming ignorance, and accuses her colleagues of the questionable actions. The defense painted Balwani as being coercive and critical. Holmes was emotional during the testimony and accused Balwani of repeatedly raping her during their 11-year relationship. She said she was struggling to cope and suppressed the pain by putting all of her time into building Theranos. The trial has been going on since August 31st. Holmes faces up to 20 years in prison if found guilty. She is expected to face cross-examination this week.
Wait a minute. There's a flaw in this. If this is truly the defense, there's a flaw in it. Hold on a second.
Was emotional during the testimony and accused Balwani of repeatedly raping her during their 11-year relationship. She said she was struggling to cope and suppressed the pain by putting all of her time into building Theranos.
Okay. So if this is truly her defense, it's not a good one because she's saying because of the rape, I was so distraught that I just focused all my energy on the company, and that's why I decided to lie to investors? That's not gonna play too well.
This is a Hail Mary.
Just go to jail, lady. Take it.
She doesn't want to go to
and
jail.
I wish we had audio of the. I want to hear if she has the voice still, or she's softening it up a little bit when she talks about what happened to her.
Oh, no.
Another trial taking place. This is a America This Morning, I think, report. There's a podcast that does a pretty good job, but so far, everything I hear about the Ghislaine Maxwell is stuff we've known. There's nothing new coming out.
A former longtime house manager for the late financier Jeffrey Epstein is shedding new light on what allegedly went on inside the sex offender's Florida mansion. Juan Alessi, testifying at the trial of Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell, told jurors that Maxwell was the lady of the house. And in court, he read from a so-called household manual for employees, which included the instructions, quote, "You see nothing, hear nothing, say nothing except to answer a question directed at you." And he says Maxwell ordered him, quote, "You should never look at his eyes." Alessi testified that numerous young women came to the mansion, including 2 females who appeared to be underage. He identified one of the girls as the woman identified in court as Jane, who testified this week. Alessi says he picked Jane up on multiple occasions at Maxwell's request, driving her to Epstein's home and plane. Jane claims she was abused at both locations.
There were 2 of these visitors that stood out to him because they were obviously underage. So his testimony was used to corroborate the testimony of one of the accusers, again, who claimed that she was abused as a teenager there. He saw her there, so that gives the government further proof of that allegation.
Alessi identified the other underage girl as Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who has accused Epstein and Maxwell of sex trafficking her to powerful men.
So as far as I can remember, this is nothing new. It doesn't sound like any new information, new shit has come to light.
No, it sounds like nothing's come to light. By the way, there is a funny picture, though, of the court artist.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she likes to draw, too.
Yeah. Oh, what did she do?
So the court artist...
Yeah.
The court artist has a drawing of her drawing him.
Oh, brother.
She's there drawing the court artist. She's looking right at him and drawing
pathetic.
him. That's how...
Yeah, I was afraid.
That's how uninterested she is in her actual case. She's doodling.
There's a
this is fixed. This is rigged. Something's amiss.
There's a very good podcast. There's really no clips I can play from it, but it's called True Anon, and they're doing a podcast every day with their takeaway from the trial. It's pretty funny. But so far, even from then, no information. And I'm waiting. Everything's teed up. We've got lots of stories about pedophilia in the CIA. We've got all kinds of allegations flying around about CEOs of companies that may or may not be involved. The Robert Maxwell is, the dead guy, but he's back kind of in the news. People are learning about Ghislaine's sisters, heavily involved in Silicon Valley technology.
Yeah, I used to have one of them on my show all the time when I did Silicon Space.
Really?
She was on all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I could call her up.
Who?
Christine, I think, is her name. I think it's Christine.
Yeah. Oh, man. What would she talk about?
She wouldn't say anything. I don't know.
You said you had her on your podcast all the time.
Yeah, but she would talk of, what did she talk about on the podcast?
Yeah.
Mostly high-tech marketing.
Because she was didn't they build Excite or something? Excite at Home?
Yeah, she had something to do with one of these big companies.
Yeah.
She lived over in Palo Alto. I think she's still there as far as I can tell. I'm surprised someone hasn't tracked her down and put her on the news.
You should interview her.
She won't do it.
Well, then don't say you're surprised that no one from the news has tracked her down if she won't even do a podcast. There with a
microphone, they'll be ambushing. I'm not going to do that. They're going to ambush her.
Yeah.
What do you think about your sister? What your sister? I don't know.
That's exactly how you should do it. I think you should be running down the street like a crazy person, yelling, "Hey, I want to talk about your sister," with your Zoom recorder.
Yeah,
it's a good look.
I have a screwball clip from NTD about the head of MI6 giving a little talk.
Oh,
you know about this?
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, anyway, MI6.
In his first public speech since taking up the post, MI6 Chief Richard Moore detailed his key priorities for the agency. The biggest one, he said, is China.
Adapting to a world affected by the rise of China is the single greatest priority for MI6. The Chinese Communist Party leadership increasingly favor bold and decisive action, justified on national security grounds. The days of Deng Xiaoping's hide your strength, bide your time are long over.
Moore said he sees areas of cooperation with Beijing, such as trade, but he stressed that China, as an authoritarian state, has different values from us.
Beijing has seriously eroded Hong Kong's one country, two systems framework and removed individual rights and freedoms in the name of national security. Its surveillance state has targeted the Uyghur population in Xinjiang, carrying out widespread human rights abuses, including the arbitrary detention of an estimated 1 million Muslims.
Moore noted that the Chinese regime has exported made-in-China surveillance technology to other governments. This, he said, serves to expand its web of authoritarian control worldwide. In his speech, Moore warned of large-scale espionage operations against Britain and its allies. He said that Chinese spies exploit the open nature of our societies, including through social media operations, to distort public discourse and influence political decision-making. Malcolm Hudson, NTD News, London.
Well, I think this fits right in line with the general attack on China's business in Africa for him to come out.
Yep, maybe.
What are you eating? Because we could hear you clearly open the packaging.
It's a lozenge because I didn't want to go into a coughing fit.
Oh, okay.
Because they have no cough button. Although on that new Podcasting Pro.
Oh, yeah, you should. I can't wait for we're going to do this review. So while we're starting to focus on China, Russia is falling a little bit by the wayside, but we'll still use it to say, hey, Russia's going to invade Ukraine, which I somehow doubt.
Yes, I doubt it too, but it's a good bit.
I mean, that's what they're doing. The Washington Post, listen to this headline. This is nuts. Washington Post. Yeah, Russia planning massive military offensive against Ukraine involving 175,000 troops, U.S. intelligence warns. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll believe that. But then, my favorite, alternative Mueller report might be released.
Yeah.
An unpublished investigative compilation, sometimes referred to as the alternative Mueller report, has been located in DOJ files and could be released soon, says Politico.
Oh, please.
Yes. See, this is a top deputy to special counsel Robert Mueller, Andrew Weissman. Well, yeah, that guy's trustworthy.
Oh, that guy.
Revealed in a book he published last year that the team he headed prepared a summary of all its work, apparently including details not contained in the final report made public. So that has surfaced, and I guess they'll have to get that out pretty soon, because Trump, whatever, Trump. Fine.
Might run.
Fine, brother.
I have a clip that I want to play, which is, I had no idea this was going on, but as we know, that Elon Musk is a genius at soaking the government.
With all of his projects.
So listen to the SpaceX thing.
Oh.
SpaceX is currently developing its next rocket, Starship, in Texas. But it seems things are not going well.
Nope.
Elon Musk warned that the company could face a genuine risk of bankruptcy if it fails to solve a rocket engine problem. NTD's Colin Fredrickson has the details.
This area is used for the engine components. So
SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk is reportedly concerned about a lack of progress on the company's next rocket engine. Tech blog Space Explored published part of a company-wide email where Musk mentioned its rocket, Starship's Raptor production crisis, is much worse than it had seemed a few weeks ago. The email mentioned the recent leadership shakeup. CNBC reports that 2 vice presidents have parted with the company, citing sources. One is reportedly Vice President of Propulsion Will Heltsley. Another is Vice President of Mission and Launch Operations, Lee Rosen. According to CNBC, the main reason they quit is a lack of progress on Raptor engine development. In the email, Musk said, "We face a genuine risk of bankruptcy if we can't achieve a Starship flight rate of at least once every 2 weeks next year."
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Starship plays a key role in SpaceX's future missions. Earlier this month, Musk said that SpaceX will hopefully launch the first Starship orbital flight in January or February. But the rocket prototypes will need about 39 Raptor engines each. That means SpaceX will have to resolve its engine issues before Starship can take anyone anywhere.
Well, I have to agree now. I think Elon Musk is a genius at marketing. He's done this with Tesla time and again. And by the way, is there no one who questions him mentioning this? He even said, possible bankruptcy after he sold billions of dollars worth of stock. Is that not a problem?
Yeah.
Does anyone mention this little fact? He could have mentioned that before he sold a significant portion of stock.
It was mostly Tesla stock.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Different company.
But this is just managing expectations. He does it all the time. Then all of a sudden, big announcement.
Right,
huh?
Genius.
Yeah, big announcement. We saved it. Saved the company. Can you invest in, is it public, SpaceX?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it may or may not be. It might be. I don't know, to be honest about it. I know Tesla sure is. I do have one kind of an offbeat clip.
Yeah.
How far are we to going into our donation segment?
This and then whatever you want to do after it.
Well, I have an upgrade to ITM. I want to give your opinion on this.
An upgrade to ITM?
Yeah, listen.
Morning has
No!
Like the first morning.
Triggering!
Blackbird has spoken.
Did you just put the whole song in here or something else coming?
Well, you can tell it's not the whole song because that's halfway through it.
Like the first bird.
What the hell?
Praise for the sea.
Okay, you don't have to play it.
So, somewhere you listen to me talk about this traumatic experience I had as a child, and you decide to trigger me.
Yeah, I wanted to see if it was true. Now,
it's very true. Very true. It's horrible. Don't do that to me.
So that was on the Malone show. You did this show with the bearded guy. Malone, what's his name?
Jack Murphy.
Jack Murphy.
Jack Malone. The Malone show.
Some guy.
Yes, it's John Malone show, some guy. No, Jack Murphy. Yeah.
I want to talk to him.
Jack Murphy. Yes.
Okay, so Jack Murphy, and you go on this story about how this is a traumatic song for you. You play the song and you start getting the shakes and the heebie-jeebies and everything in between.
Yes. And was I lying?
I didn't see it was that traumatic. If you started spitting and you couldn't, and you lost your balance or something, I'd say, yeah, maybe.
But it was really the problem was we were talking about religion and how my parents had messed me up by becoming Unitarian in Holland, of all places. They still don't have a word for Unitarian in Dutch. And so we meet up with all these other people from Americans, and then we get up at 3 a.m. and drive for 2 hours to watch the sun come up at 5 a.m. on some stupid hill. And then imagine a little cassette recorder, with the big buttons on the front.
Yeah, I think that's what was missing from my.
Yes,
this is actually a good copy.
Yeah. You need to have kind of that really whiny, squeaky sound. Yes, yeah. And there was this song, "Morning Is Broken," and it's very traumatic. It is. That's what broke my faith in God.
Oh, gee. I think you said Pat Stevens too.
I did not say Pat Stevens. No way.
I don't know.
Show me a clip or I don't believe it.
I'll have to go back.
Right.
Never mind.
All right. Now, you made me put Fritz the Cat in the show notes. Let's get this over with. What are you doing? You've got something planned. I need to know what.
Okay. Well, there's a show that's now considered the biggest flop in the history of television called Santa Inc.
Santa Inc. I've not heard of this.
Well, maybe not.
Because it's a flop.
It's got a 1.1 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
Oh, dynamite.
And it's got like 3 on Rotten Tomatoes.
What is this?
It's
Seth Rogen.
And Sarah Silverman did this show called Santa Inc.
Oh, noes.
And there's 10 episodes out, and it is so bad.
Do we need to play a little bit, or do you have?
I'm gonna play this one. I got one clip,
nice.
And then I got the 2 Fritz the Cat clips. So because I have a little history.
Oh,
and so,
good.
And so now this is a not safe for work moment. This is the beginning of Santa Inc. And it's extremely profane. They do nothing. They just cuss for no good reason. They're cussing and cussing. And this is a claymation show that looks like a kid's show. And it's incredibly irresponsible to expect a 4-year-old not to be traumatized by watching this show. HBO should be ashamed of themselves for paying for this show. Seth Rogen is now saying it's white supremacists who are responsible for the bad reviews.
Wow! Do you have a clip of that too?
No, I don't have a clip of that, but let's listen to the beginning. This is the beginning of the first episode. Just listen. How long is this thing?
136.
It's 136. It's short, but it is just it's deplorable. And again, this is not safe for work. So if you you might want to turn the sound down or something. Here we go.
All right, good job, guys. Make sure those are stacked in order of continence. And keep the puppies away from the kittens and the kittens away from the goldfish. And make sure the reptiles, sweet American Jesus. This lizard is dead. Come on, guys. It's Christmas fucking Eve. There's no time for amateur hour here. Now get another one before Tiffany Chang from Tallahassee loses her shit.
Halloween? Bullshit. Easter? Fuck that stupid bunny. Mayday? What the fuck is Mayday? This is the big one. The X Games. Excalibur. It's Xmas, baby. And that X is for extraordinary. Santa chose me as his successor because I know how to run this place and get the best out of you guys. And I think you guys are the best. You come from a long line of distinguished reindeer who have performed valiantly on Christmas Eve for hundreds of years. Dasher, Comet, Blitzen, and Junior, the son of the greatest of them all, fashionably late.
Let me just get right up front here in the driver's seat. Who's ready to smell Junior's ass tonight?
Now let's get those fucking kids their presents in record time this year. Lady Candy, my second in command. I'd be nothing without you. You are a fucking rock star. After tonight, I insist that you go to a hotel room and trash it.
I will do it. I will drug groupies. I will shit on the bed. I will fuck a baby shark and bite its head off. Woo!
Wow. This is good. In fact, that, my friend, has deserved you a coveted clip of the day. Just too good to be true.
Clip of the day.
Well, this is lame.
Oh, it's just the worst. And, of course, it's white supremacy that gives a bad rap.
Here's his tweet. Seth Rogen. We really pissed off tens of thousands of white supremacists with our new show, #Santa Inc., which is now available on HBO Max. Please read the responses to this tweet for confirmation. How did this pitch go? Do you think it was, all right, we're going to do this cartoon? You got to think kind of like Beavis and Butthead meets Family Guy meets South Park, but then with real talk.
You know, I wonder how the pitch went myself. I'd like to be in the room for that pitch. Because they sold somebody a bill of goods, and there must have been cocaine involved. That's the only thing I can say.
This was a coke deal if I ever heard one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's just really an idiotic product. But there was a product that came out in 1972 called Fritz the Cat.
Now, I only know this from the comic book, I think.
Yeah, it is an R. Crumb comic book called Fritz the Cat, and they made it into an adult cartoon, but they sold it as that. This was not this is I don't know. This is a Christmas product, and it's claymation, and it's not. And they never sell it as adult. You know, they get MA rating or whatever. But it's it's drawing in children, this piece of crap, Santa Claus Inc. And it's really shameful for doing that. But Fritz the Cat was always known as an adult cartoon, and it was at least self-aware. Now I'm going to play one clip and maybe a second clip, which is short, this is the very beginning of this show. And what we have here is Fritz the Cat, and he's trying to pick up on one of these 3 female cats, and they're all college student cats, and they look, they're R. Crumb designs. They got big breasts and big butts, and cats, I don't know. And so these cats have all glommed onto a black crow who's a black guy. And they're trying to impress this black crow by telling him all these things, because this was the typical 1972 college co-ed going after a black guy because it was the thing to do. And here's the dialogue.
I've read everything James Baldwin's written. He has a true sense of the problems of black people.
I worked for Head Start for free last summer. Black kids are so much groovier.
I went to a couple of Black Panther meetings. The time for nonviolent revolution is past. More power to the people.
I'm taking a course in African studies at school. I had no idea you people were so civilized.
Do you know that property values actually go up when a black family moves in?
Freud didn't write for the black man.
Why does a great actor like James Earl Jones always have to play black men?
Don't you hate it when people say colored or Negro and not black? Black is beautiful.
It's so great that black people are wearing their hair natural, not emulating the image of beauty that white people try to inflict upon them.
I had a black girlfriend once who said that Jewish people were the closest to black people. I'm Jewish,
Holy crap, this is from 1971?
72.
That's some woke-ass BS that you could air today?
Yep. Isn't that interesting?
Whoa, very good, very good.
So, by the way, I would recommend people go check this movie out. It's available on archive.org. We have a link in the show notes.
Yep. Fritz the Cat.
But, of course, this black crow is just standing there, and then all of a sudden he rebukes them with this rudeness, and this is actually kind of interesting.
I ain't no jive-ass black nigger, honey. Oh. Who do you think I am? Geraldine?
Who?
Well, it's a reference from 1972. Geraldine was a character played by Flip Wilson on the Flip Wilson Comedy Hour.
Oh, man, that's deep.
And so he refers to that character. That doesn't make sense today, but this black crow walks off and leaves the 3 girls behind.
Hey, I had a thought all of a sudden about, what is it called? Santa Inc.?
Santa Inc.
So what are the chances that in the United States of America, predominantly still a Christian, Judeo-Christian country, but certainly Catholics, Christians, Christmas is a deal. For many, it's just presents. Now, if you have a claymation show about Christmas filled with obscenities made by 2 Jews, I think you're cruising for a bruising. Silverman and Rogan are both Jewish.
Yeah, they are.
So it's kind of offensive, to be honest with you.
I think it's offensive to a lot of people.
But especially from them. I mean, you can do this. This is like you can say the N-word if you're black. You can make fun of Christmas if you're Christian. If you're white, you don't get to make fun of blacks with N-words or even just use the N-word. If you're Jew, I don't think you get to make fun of Christmas if we're just keeping to the woke rules.
I would agree with you 100%. I think this is a huge mistake.
Yeah, it's a
I think
big
HBO
mistake.
Max should be condemned for it too.
It's a big mistake. Well, if it's also just doesn't sound funny. I mean, that's the big offense.
No, it's not funny at all.
That's the big offense. It just sounds doofus. It's no good.
Just a lot of cussing.
Yeah. Okay. Quick little update since this happened over the weekend.
And this news today, CNN has fired anchor Chris Cuomo. The move follows a network inquiry into his efforts to help his brother, Andrew Cuomo, then the governor of New York, fight off a sexual harassment scandal. In a tweet today, Cuomo said, quote, "This is not how I want my time at CNN to end." He had been with the network nearly 9 years.
So what did they find some extra stuff that they had to fire him?
I don't think they found anything at the beginning. They just put him on a kind of a a quick hiatus so they could look into it. When they looked into it, then they found what they needed to find, which was he violated the rules of the company. He lied to them about his connection to his brother when it came to this case because he was helping him out. And there's some other stuff, I suppose, but it didn't take much to get rid of him. I think it was his ratings personally. But
yes, I think you're right, because if I have to hear one more time that he was the top star, he was their ratings draw, in fact.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. He was there. He's their primetime number. He has more numbers than anything else on that pathetic network.
Well, the numbers, I'll have to look.
No, he's the primetime draw of CNN. It's the worst across all news networks.
No, it's the worst across all the news networks.
Yeah,
but
I think he has the best ratings. I think so.
Well,
yeah,
I'll look into it.
Have you been following the Roe v. Wade? Well, it's not really Roe v. Wade, but the precursor to the Roe v. Wade debate, dangerous for Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court weighing in.
Pushing this. They're pushing this messaging. In fact, I have a Nancy Pelosi clip where she rambles about it, and she's so pathetic.
First of all, you and I think agree that this is nothing more than stuff to set up for the midterm election.
Yeah, they want to make sure the Republicans don't sweep.
Right.
And so they listen to Pelosi here, and you hear a bunch of suppositions. None of what she says is true. And I'll ring the bell every time I hear one of her falsehoods.
Okay.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court took up a very important issue. I viewed it as as a very dark day as the Supreme Court heard arguments about the case of Mississippi's extreme law. The court is threatening to trample over the Constitution, destroy Roe v. Wade, and take away a woman's freedom to make the most fundamental decision that she can make for herself and her family. Again, codification of Roe is the strongest weapon that we have to blunt these restrictive anti-women state laws. Now, we don't...
Whoa. She makes a mistake there. You can't say anti-woman. It should be anti-birthing person.
Have to blunt these restrictive anti-women state laws. Now, we don't know what the decision will be from the court, but from what they have said about not respecting precedents, stare decisis, all of that is troubling. And what they have said about, sometimes I think they need a session in the birds and the bees for some of the kinds of statements that they make.
The lady who normally promotes birthing person is telling others they need a lesson in the birds and the bees. Okay.
I say that as mother 5, 6 years and 1 week, 5 children. As I say to my colleagues, when you have 5 children in 6 years and 1 week, we can discuss this issue. That was great for me. That's not necessarily great for other people, and it shouldn't be up to any of us to decide what a woman and her family and her husband, her partner decides is right for them and their family and their future childbearing possibilities.
All right, so if I understand the case, it's about reducing the window of opportunity to have an abortion performed in the state from 24 weeks to 15 weeks. Is that the crux of the issue?
That's the law in Mississippi, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the crux of it. Well, she's talking a big game there.
Good job.
I have. I figured I'd bring in the report from Pod Save America.
Oh, the worst.
This is a true hate listen. It was difficult to do.
So I think in some ways the most outrageous thing came from Justice Barrett, who suggested that the fact that women can drop off children at police stations or firehouses actually eliminated the need for Roe versus Wade, because they could, remove the obligations of parenting and, undergoing the emotionally and physically grueling processes of childbirth and pregnancy were somehow not meaningful to her if they could just put the children up for adoption.
I can't. I need to hear. Do they record the Supreme Court? Is there audio? I want to hear her say.
Actually, there is audio sometimes. C-SPAN will have it.
I want to hear her say that, hey, women don't need abortions. They can just drop them off at the firehouse.
At the firehouse.
I gotta hear that. That's.
I don't think she said that.
Yeah, well, who knows? There's more.
She seemed to envision a world in which.
Can't you just use FedEx like everybody else, lady?
Every kind of adoption ended like the ending of Juno, singing happy songs with Michael Cera, and that the pregnancy was just not significant.
Why is this woman nervous and hyperventilating? Can you hear that?
Yes, I do. I don't know if she's just inexperienced.
She's worked up.
I think she's inexperienced, and she just told.
Pod Save America's been on for 10 years.
Yeah, but I think she's a reporter who's in the court and is
okay.
Children up for adoption. She
I love the up talk.
To envision a world in which every kind of adoption ended like the ending of Juno, singing happy songs with Michael Cera, and that the pregnancy was just not significant, and that moment was, I think, very astonishing, especially given that women in Mississippi face something like over 70 times greater a medical or health risk from delivering a child than from having a pre-viability abortion. Those medical risks seem to be meaningless to her.
Wow. So a woman in Mississippi has 70 times more likelihood of having a problem by childbirth versus having an abortion. That's a metric?
Well, I'd like to see where that metric was developed.
Yeah, well, Pod Save America, they are the source of truth.
And many women will lack health insurance coverage for the medical costs associated with pregnancy. That too seem to be meaningless. Women are not entitled to paid family leave, either at the federal level nor in Mississippi specifically. So they could lose their jobs while they, complete an unwanted pregnancy and undergo forced.
I was thinking about this, and I haven't brought it up on the show, but why should the federal government be paying for family leave from the taxpayers' coffers?
Well, whenever the government incentivizes something, it's usually to have the exact opposite outcome. So whatever the gambit is here, it's not to have more children being made, saved, or created.
I agree with that, but the Biden plan, the big plan is paid family leave is a big deal in there, and it's paid family leave from the government. I'm not working for the government. Why are they giving me paid family leave? Shouldn't the company I'm working for give it to me?
I'm not sure they only want it to be from the government. I have a feeling they want to force companies to have to do it.
Okay. Well, I just find it to be weird.
I got you.
So they could lose their jobs while they, complete an unwanted pregnancy and undergo forced childbirth. And all of these costs seem to be completely de minimis to her. In fact, in her question, she equated those interests and women's interest in bodily autonomy with the bodily autonomy for not getting a vaccine, the idea that it's an equal infringement to have a life-saving shot, jabbed into your arm, that it is to undergo, 9 months of unwanted pregnancy. It was astonishing. And she did that not once, but twice. So that was definitely one, I think, very alarming moment. And then there were other moments when...
So an alarming moment when she made the comparison that we've heard a lot. We've made it ourselves. Your body, your choice. Well, that means you can't jab a vaccine in my arm either, which she so eloquently described.
Some of the justices suggested that maybe they should and would regard fetuses as persons or people, in which case Congress would definitely lack the authority to protect abortion rights. But
abortion rights.
5 justices were on board with that notion.
Leah, thank you so much for joining us and helping us understand this very disturbing hearing in the very scary future that may be before us.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
So very scary.
I like the way they've all signed on to the abortion rights meme.
It's great. It's so
they've
good.
All done it. It's just like lockstep.
No, it's powerful. It's very powerful. Very
powerful.
powerful.
Abortion rights as opposed to my body, my choice, or pro-choice, which was we talked about in the last show about the pro-choice moniker, and they've changed it because they can't have it and also get the vaccine mandate. I mean, these people are transparent.
She literally was saying it right there. Oh, that's crazy. That's just crazy scary. Why would she even make that comparison?
I'm glad you listened to that. That was...
I'm going to show my support by donating to No Agenda. Imagine all the people who could do that. Oh, yeah, that'd be fab.
Yeah, on No Agenda in the morning.
And indeed, we do have a few people to thank for show 1405. And again, I think I'm going to have to get a new mouse. Don't you think?
Joe, you've had this problem with your mouse for months, maybe even a year at this point.
Let's go a little deeper than months.
Months.
I think Sir Woody Baron of the Blood Run is our top guy.
Is he now?
$125.20.
Is he now?
It looks like.
Yeah. All right. Just checking.
125.21, followed by Sir Perfluous of the Octoroon. 123.21. John Robinet comes in with $100. Betty Bloodlust. Now there's a name.
Yeah. Betty Bloodlust, C100. Hey, everybody. Yeah, pretty good.
Does she have anything to say? She sent a mile-long note that we're not going to read, but...
Betty Bloodlust, she said, why don't you continue and I'll see if there's anything.
Yeah, I'll see if there's anything in there that we need to read. Christopher Oblenis in Jackson, Wyoming, great part of the country. Nicholas Ray, $100. He's $100 too, so is Christopher. Terry Wentz in Langley, Washington, 100. Ashlyn Davis, 85. Sir Kevin McLaughlin, Duke of Luna and lover of America. And guess what?
Boobs.
He's a lover of America and boobs. And he came in once again with 808. He's going to be a Duke in a minute. Jacob Smith follows suit with another boob donation. He says, here's a boob donation from my other favorite pair. Wayan Cartini in Torrington, Connecticut, a 74.21. Kevin Kesselring, 67. Peter Karnowski in Weed, California. We used to get he's got a birthday call out. We got those mugs from Weed.
We did. The Weed mugs. Yep, we did.
And they're nice.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Bailey, 55.56. Oh, Weed was 63.36. Chris Bailey's 55.56. Brian Furley, 55.10. Double nickels on the dime. Also Harry Pilgrim, double nickels on the dime. He's in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, Virginia.
Fredericksburg, Virginia. Well, it's not the same. Sir Tom Dari in DeForest, Wisconsin, 55.10. Michael Gates, 52.80. Katarina Andersson in Malmo, Sweden.
Yeah, good night.
Hey, your show is a beacon of light in the COVID totalitarian darkness.
Do you know people who are chipped, Katarina?
Yeah, there you go, Katarina. Let us know if you get chipped.
Would like to know.
Does it hurt?
No, we want to know if she knows anyone who got chipped, not if she got chipped.
Get chipped.
She didn't get chipped.
Susan Claycamp, 5021. James, I'm surprised the Swedes are up in arms about that. And the following people are $50 donors, name and location. James Sharametta in Nabanock, New York. Loretta Vandenberg from Provençal, Louisiana. Anna Drake in Whitestown, Indiana. Sir Matthew Januszewski in Chicago. Dan Scalise in Vernon, Connecticut. Isaac Greason in Kokomo, Indiana. Villarreal. He's in Texas, I believe, somewhere. I think. It doesn't say. Chisholm Cook in Boulevard, Texas. Troy Watson, parts unknown. Sarah Gordon, parts unknown. David Beach in San Antonio, Texas. And wrapping it up, Sir Brian Watson in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Ronald Jennings in Fall River, Massachusetts. And last but not least, Sir Brett Farrell, who last time I looked was in Oklahoma City, but he may have moved to Florida. And that's $50. And that concludes our list of producers and well-wishers and helpers for show 1405.
So our producer, Katarina from from Sweden, you have to know that they're being distracted in Sweden away from all these evil things that are being done with chips. The most recent thing is there's going to be a new ABBA comeback concert. And this concert, it's them performing today, except they've CGI'd their old faces on top of their faces now.
What?
Yeah. It's a huge project. It's very expensive. They're paying for it themselves. They're putting this whole, and they're in their 70s now. So, yeah. And that's, Sweden still keeping their people hypnotized with ABBA. Unbelievable. 50 years later. It's great. And the rather long note from Betty Bloodlust, as she's actually fighting the good fight against school boards, etc. And she was bringing us up to speed on that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to these to these producers. Sorry, not executives. We, of course, thank the execs and associate execs earlier. These producers who are a big part of putting the show together, keeping it running, including those who came under $50 for reasons of anonymity, but also many programs that you can get on. These are sustaining donations. We really need help on that. There's 3333s, 1212s, a whole bunch of different ones. You can find the entire list at this website.
Dvorak.org/NA.
And give everybody a goat karma. Thank you very much for supporting the show.
You've got karma.
Here's our list for today and what's coming up. We start with Mandy Bates, who turns 54 today. Happy birthday. Clark Fictroll, happy birthday to his daughter Chloe, who turns 10 today. Jessica Banstra, Dame Smokin' Hot Stew, happy birthday to her husband, Sir Steve Banstra, Knight of the Nashville Aerodromes. Of course, we have Dave Fugazotto, who says happy birthday to Dame Isabella. She celebrates on December 7th. Peter and Rebecca, happy birthday to Danielle Williams, also celebrating on the 7th. And finally, we say happy birthday to Black Knight Big Loaf of the Blaz. Happy birthday from everybody here at the best podcast in the universe.
Come gather round, douchebag, producer and slave, as we all thank your brothers and sisters who gave, and some of them knights, some of them dames, for the titles are a-changing.
One title is a-changing today. That is Sir Anthony Seven, Baron of Hamilton, who becomes Viscount and will continue to donate for a few more shows, he says, to make amends. And we really do appreciate that. And thank you very much for your support. A lot of meetup reports for some reason. Of course, we have many meetups taking place all over Gitmo Nation. That's around the world. The first one written coming from the Lowlands, brief meetup report yesterday on the 4th of December. We had an impromptu no agenda meetup at the monthly protest against the government policies. They sent in a picture. It looked very cool. The attached photo shows the first group of knights, dames, and producers and douchebags that arrived, although later on many more joined the party. Producers present were Arno, Mark, Jacobine, Willem, André, Marcel, Sander, Sebastian, Niels, Guus, Natalia, Fiedereiltje, Erce, and Jeanette, and nog een Jeanette. There you go. Afterwards, a few select managed to get into a bar without a QR code and enjoyed some bitterballen and hit a waitress in the mouth. Good time was had by all. Thank you for your courage on behalf of the Gitmo Nation Lowlands group. Thank you very much. Oops. Am I doing stuff out of order here for some reason? Yes. Why am I doing that? I forgot the knighting ceremony.
Yeah, you didn't knight anyone.
Where are you to pump the brakes, bro?
I was ready.
No, you didn't tell me that I'm screwing it up. I was going to
watch you drive into a ditch. It's actually funny.
I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. Wow. Must have been the late.
At least you didn't end the show.
No, that would have sucked even more. Okay, now I need a blade is what I need. There we go. I
got one right here. I've been waiting.
We have one daming, and I can't believe that we almost forgot to bring Mandy Bates up on the podium. Yes, there we go. Mandy, apologies. We caught that just in time. Yes, Mandy, you have supported the No Agenda show in the amount of $1,000 or more. Therefore, we are very proud to pronounce thee as Dame Mandy Healer in the Green Mountain State for you. We've got, well, I guess we got Rent Boys and Chardonnay, but you also requested, and we put it out here, seltzer with a splash of cranberry juice and lime and a penne a la vodka. Along with that, we got some onion rings and ice cream. We got some Harlots and Haldol, if you're interested. Bong hits and bourbon, sparkling cider and escorts, ginger ale and gerbils. We got breast milk and pablum, geishas and sake, and yes, mutton and mead. That will go nicely with your other selected beverages. Head over to noagendanation.com/rings, and Eric the Shield will make sure that you get exactly what you order in the right size as soon as we can get it, depending on where you are with the way the postal services are working. And thank you for supporting No Agenda. Now back to the meetup reports.
No Agenda
All right, we already had the lowlands. Here's the Philly Local 76.
What's shaking, Gitmo Nation? This is Sean from Philly Local 76. We had 9 people in attendance at Barcade on December 1st. One of our attendees managed to get the high score on Qbert, giving the initials ITM at nearly 33,000 points. Just shy, about 250 points. Of the 9, only 5 were willing to go into the report, but here they are.
Hey, this is Linda from Philly in the morning.
Hey, Umami Mama here. Thanks for everything, guys. Love is lit.
I feel comfortable saying we are post-COVID, and I am totally loving it.
Jason DeLuzio here, formerly of Chad's Ford, now of Miami Beach. Just came back doing a scouting mission to confirm that, in fact, Philadelphia is still an absolute hellhole.
This is Josh checking in from the Barcade. Adam, it is Blunt 20.
In the morning.
All right, high score. Well done. ITM at number 1. Catskill Mountain Meetup. Come on in.
ITM, Adam and John. We're here at the first Catskill Mountain Meetup where we are legally able to drink, but we cannot get our colonoscopies.
First time meetup. Sorry, I'm a douchebag. Thank you for your courage.
In the morning from Ellenville, this is Serpent.
Don't eat me, Hillary.
Hi, it's Brian. Jeep Flow. Alex is the spook.
Suck it, Adam Curry.
Hi.
ITM, grow your own, be sure. Get out of the Matrix.
In the morning.
Confusing. CNY Marcellus Meetup.
Hello, Adam and John. This is the CNY Meetup Report from Marcellus, New York, a village of 1,300 people. This is John Brown III. In the morning to you, Adam.
This is the real tactical Tarzan. In the morning to you, John, and could you please turn your speakers down?
Masks are child abuse. This is Gazpacho, and in the morning.
Hey, this is Corn Pop, and Joe Biden shot COVID into my butt.
Hey, this is Serpent again. In the morning. Again.
In the morning from Marcellus, New York.
Howdy from Mississippi. This is Ellen.
And we had the very first Perth No Agenda Meetup take place.
In the morning, JC and Adam. This is Vangeli from Down Under. Here at the Great Perth Awakening Meetup. We're small, but we are rowdy. Wish you were here. Oh my God! Woo! Listen to that horn!
Hello, Adam Scully and Johnny Korvac. It's Spiro. Long time no speak. I can't speak either.
This is Kat the Scientist coming to you in silico, having received the mRNA in vivo, and now we're trapped indefinitely in vitro in the Perth bubble by Emperor Mark.
Hi, it's Blake. I'm lucky I could attend this event without the government-mandated double vax plus triple booster. Stay safe.
I've been listening to your show ever since I was a boy. Not in my free will, and I'm here, but still not out of my own free will.
Shut up, slave.
In the morning.
I'd like to get the sexy doctor scientist to do that little thing again.
Yeah.
That's a cool little bit.
Let's have her do some voiceover for us.
Yeah, finally. Last report, GPG New Berlin, Wisconsin meetup.
Hey, this is Ryan from the New Berlin, Wisconsin meetup.
New
Pretty
Berlin.
good turnout today. Go Pack, go.
Hi, this is Jacob. The spook already left. He came and he got everybody's ID and then left right away. So,
In the morning, this is Jarrett from Brookfield. Still a douchebag.
In the morning, and thank you for your courage. Mo from Sussex.
Hiya, this is Sarah from Milwaukee. This is my first No Agenda meetup, and what they say is true. Totally worth it. You guys should go. Thanks, John and Adam.
In the morning, this is Adam from Milwaukee. Hi, Adam. I don't like my name either. See ya.
In the morning, this is Bob Severson from Lisbon, Wisconsin. In the morning, this is Sir Data Ops, the Wisconsin Millennial. It's like a party. In the morning, John and Adam, thank you for your courage.
In the morning, Sir Onion Knight, I got ants.
This is Jillian and baby Pascalina.
Holy crap.
In the morning, Mike the Shark, thank you for your courage.
In the morning.
It sounded like the kid was, like the head was spinning.
The woman doing it.
It's nuts. Thank you all very much for these reports. Here's a couple of meetups that are forthcoming. In fact, today, the first Loving the Lava meetup on the Big Island of Hawaii. Yes, it is Hilo, Hawaii, where I think they're going to have a blizzard. That's at the Temple Bar. We have the
The blizzard's going to be in the mountain. It's not going to be down on Hilo.
Oh, that's no fun. It'll dip into the 50s, I heard. Crossroads of America ITM Tribal Gathering, 3:30 today in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Sun King Barrel House. The GTX Variant Conditioning, 3:33 p.m. at the Barking Armadillo Brewery in Georgetown, Texas. We have the Thailand's Quality Tourist Meetup, 4 o'clock Bangkok time at Heaven Club and Lounge. Now, that's probably already come and gone, but it's cool that it's being held there in Pattaya. And then the Cyber Kraut Meetup, that'll be on Thursday, the next show day, Colorado Springs, Local 719 at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, Pikes Peak Brewing. There are plenty of meetups all the way through December, taking you up right into the new year. Go to noagendameetups.com to find out where they're taking place. Actually, we had a couple of friends over last night, and we played some board games. I was thinking to myself, shouldn't we have some kind of game for the No Agenda meetups that is easy to transport, easy to put together, everybody can play? And there's something that would just add a little spice. Badminton. Okay, it's settled. Badminton at everybody's next meetup. Check it out. NoAgendaMeetups.com.
Sometimes you want to go hang out with all the nights and days. You want to be where you won't be triggered or held to blame. You want to be where everybody feels the same. It's like a party.
Badminton. A friend of mine in 5th grade played professionally. Well, no, he played high level, not professionally.
It's actually a fun game.
It gets pretty aggressive when it's at competitive level.
Yeah. All right,
ISOs.
I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
How many you got?
I have 1.
All right, play your 1 and I'll play my 2.
Okay, here's my 1.
You're my enemy. You understand that?
Okay.
I've got 2. I got 1 is best.
You're the best.
Yeah.
And then none.
None. Yellow.
Not sure. I don't think. Yeah.
I know you don't like, but I think the best is the best.
You're the best.
It's another stupid Biden thing. It's just
we never use the Biden ones.
Why don't we use this one?
Morning has broken.
You're in. I'm good.
I'm just going to play this. This is the end of show, everybody. There we go. Woo! Yeah. Pat Stevens, right there. Pat Stevens for you.
Stevens. I've got 2 things I want to play.
Okay.
Pat Stevens. You said this. You said.
I know. I said it on purpose. Pat Stevens. I never said that in the original.
Stevens.
Stop now. All right. 2 more clips.
Okay, I got
Biden,
a little medley of his recent speech about AIDS or whatever, and he said, I think he says, instead of saying vaccination, he says vacillating.
To beat this pandemic, we also need to vaccinate the rest of the world. Now, vaccinating the world is not just a
vaccinating the world.
I love it.
Tool, and they come from a position of strength as the United States of America. You're the best. May God bless you all. Thank you for your patience and listening to me. Thank you.
Vaccinate.
We're going to vaccinate the world.
That guy. All right.
All right. Now I've got one more thing, and then you can finish.
Yeah, we're just going to leave.
And this is a incredibly dumb commentary by a sideline reporter at one of the big games. I think it was the Oregon game. I think it was the Oregon Pac-12 finals.
This is a football game? Football game.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to see if you can catch the non sequitur in here, which is a real eye roller. And after you play this, you can play the shorter version. This is Holly Rowe, the sideline reporter.
His 2-year Mormon mission came back, and he's still playing. He actually has an extra year of eligibility. It's unlikely if he will take that or not, but he just loves the game. He loves the University of Utah.
Okay, I need to hear it again because I had to train my ear. I had no idea
it's
what
terrible. Well, just play the shorter version. Is all you need. This is where it comes in.
Okay.
He actually has an extra year of eligibility. It's unlikely if he will take that or not.
It's unlikely if he will take that or not.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, he's got an extra year of eligibility.
Sorry. Yeah?
He's unlikely, or it's unlikely he will take that or not. What?
I know. But she even said it differerly, I think.
He actually has an extra year of eligibility. It's unlikely if he will take that or not.
Oh, it's unlikely if he will take that or not. Yeah. Well, this is called a flub.
She was...
These are just, I mean, come on. We've all flubbed. We've all said dumb stuff on the, whatever.
I know.
Whatever happened to the reporters just losing their mind? Remember when we thought it was,
that?
When it was what was it, like microwave transmission? They were beaming into their brain. How come that doesn't happen anymore?
Yeah, what happened to that?
What do we call that? What would one of those clips be called? Can you recall? Do you remember?
They were called meltdowns or something.
Ooh, that was my meltdown. No, we don't have anything with meltdown. It was something else. It was a blurred or we thought it was we're thinking it was a stroke.
It was unbelievable.
We'll have to work on that. It's well worth looking. And can't they bring that back? That was fun. That was fun.
No. Machine.
Coming up next on noagendastream.com, we have Behind the Schemes Live. That will include Boobery, Lavish, and Quirkus. And I think this is Void Zero with Sir Bemrose. All right, so they should be popping in live. That should be fun. End of show makes Tidewater Architect back after a bit of a hiatus. He's got a beautiful version of a Willie Nelson track that you might recognize. And I am coming to you from the heart of Texas Hill Country. It's here in FEMA Region number 6. In the morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where it's getting warming up a little bit. It's not quite as bad as it was earlier, so things are improving here. I'm John C. Dvorak.
We return on Thursday with another media deconstruction for you. Please remember us at Dvorak.org/NA. And until Thursday, adios, mofos! And such.
Omicron again. Just can't wait to get Omicron again. Life I love is getting boosters with my friends. I can't wait to get Omicron again. Omicron again. Getting sick the way I've never been. Spreading germs that I may never see again. And I can't wait to get Omicron again. Omicron again. Like a spike protein wheeling down the highway. When the vaccine ends, insisting that the world keep jiving. It's Omicron again. Just can't wait to get Omicron again. The life I love is having vaccinated friends. I can't wait to get Omicron again. I can't wait to get Omicron again.
The best podcast in the universe. Dvorak.org/NA.
You're the best.